Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Your Geek On. It's time for that main event grudge match between the University of Queensland, where we are right now, and QUT. I am one Maximilian Thor von Neumann. I go by Formal Casting, and I am joined by the Mitchell Replays Anderson.
Hey guys, how's it going? Very excited to get jumping straight into the inaugural esports event of the year here at UQ. Obviously, got a couple more things coming up for both QUT and UQ this year. QUT hosting the OUC, and of course UQ hosting the High School Queensland tournament throughout the year. But good to be back here at Get Your Geek On for the first event of 2020.
Yeah, no, this is a special event, really, because not only is it an annual grudge match between these two schools, and as I've learned over the past year, like, it is a grudge match. There is contention between these two Queensland universities, but it's also kind of like, you know, that annual start of the year for amateur casters, players. Like, everything is just getting going just now, starting to come alive, and this is that first chance for a lot of these players to really show, hey, you know, we deserve to be playing not just at the uni level, maybe at an OCS level, maybe at a professional level. So this is definitely a good experience for them. We get to see some stage time. We get to play on the tournament realm, which is way more fun. No 3-minute delay. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, it's so much more fun getting into this environment. Even this live crowd, even every live event we do, it's so much fun. Just being in the environment, hearing the crowd go and all of that, it's just a whole different experience. And just being in this environment is a great way to start off the year in amateur esports, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the cue, by the way, crowd. We do want to hear you today, so let's just like show everyone who is watching online right now how loud can you guys actually be. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. I've never had a crowd directly behind me before while casting, so I just want to abuse it as much as possible.
It's very different, right? It's almost like the LCS style setup when they have the casting desk like up the back of the room.
Yeah.
It's when you were last year when we were sitting and looking at everyone, it was much easier to have a view of the vibe. But back here, it's like, what's going on behind me? I can't see anything.
I just have to trust
you just hear noise.
Yeah, you just have to trust that everyone behind you is being respectful and polite and not writing horrible things on signs. I've seen some of the signs already. Actually, they're pretty fun, but it's definitely a great environment. The uni environment, grudge match, so rivalries. Everyone's excited to see what these two teams have to offer. But on that note, prediction time. I kind of feel like one team has a significant advantage over the other.
Which team would that be that has the very, very slight advantage?
Well, what I have right here, actually, surprise, we have the 2020 script for League of Legends, and when we just open that up, might not be very popular in this room, but QUT 2-0 is the prediction that I am going for in this one. I just feel that this squad right now, they've coming into it, I think, with a bit more experience. This is a team that I think is bred to compete in the OCS. Yes. Similarly, yes, their mid laner may be overseas right now, but I just feel the cohesion, the expectation is a lot more coming from the QUT Tigers side.
I would have to agree with that nice 2-0 prediction there. Obviously, UQ fielding our university team today, our OUC team, so maybe a step down from OCS, but could definitely be very competitive here, and I've got some players that could play even above that level in the future.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not as if the UQ squad is a bunch of randoms either, as you've mentioned. They have played together. In particular, though, a player to watch will be the man in the jungle, one Scott.
Yeah.
He has been said to be playing at an OCS or possibly even an OPL level for quite a while right now. Once again, he's kind of hoping 2020, this will be his breakout year. And for a true breakout year, you need that breakout start, and this could be that opportunity.
Yeah, especially if you could even steal the game off QT for UQ, it would be quite an achievement. Jungle at the moment, I mean, it's getting a little bit stronger, got buffed a little bit, 10.3, 10.4, so it's not the strongest carry role right now, and the champions in the role aren't the best, but maybe Lee Sin can see him pop off and take a game with hands.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's your Lee Sins, your Elises, those aggressive junglers. They do kind of fall right into Scott's wheelhouse. That said, I have heard his champion pool being described as an iceberg before. Something fitting with your Leonardo DiCaprio hair right there. But essentially what it is, it's, you know, at the top, just over the surface, yes, you have those high meta, high impact junglers. But underneath, it's just a massive well, a massive iceberg of sheer cold-hearted gameplay of destruction. I don't know where I'm going with that. Point is, there's a lot down there, and that's a large champion pool to deal with.
Very interesting metaphor there. I like it.
It went off the rails. That wasn't good.
It was very close, but it was quite good.
But then on the other side, though, Nightfaller for QUT. He's kind of my player to watch there on the Tiger side. He has that OCS experience. He is the one player returning from last year, so I'm expecting him to be kind of more that mentor role. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's top lane or not mid lane, and top lane is an island. But if anyone's going to take over a game in just individual laning performance, I'm looking at Nightfaller in this one.
I mean, especially at this level of play, it's not so much... You can still carry from any role. It's not that defined meta you get in the pro leagues like the LEC, LPL, LCK. LCS, not really, but you know, they're trying.
That's an odd dig to throw at the LCS. I mean, that's where your favorite team is.
It is, you know, I'm popping off at the moment, 10-0, but yeah, look, it's international competition for the LCS isn't as good. Maybe we can make MSI finals again, but
you know what? I think it's part of our duty here in like the Oceanic region to kind of root for the LCS, just because a lot of our players are over there right now.
Yeah.
You're a Cloud9 fan. I'm a 100 Thieves fan. We have Papa. We have, you know,
Rioma.
Exactly. So that's where my heart lies.
I'm pretty sure a King and Triple's on the C9 Academy. Or is it King on the C9 Academy?
I think it's King.
King? Because Triple's over there too. I think he's playing for TL? No.
I mean, FBI's over there as well. Like,
there
is a lot of players over there. That said, though, we will be kicking off our inaugural match in just about 1 minute. Already we can see the banter going down. UQ claiming they're just versing TAFE, not QUT.
That's what it stands for, right? Queensland Ultimate TAFE?
Yeah, exactly. So definitely good to see the players getting into the spirit of what is a true grudge match. Now, something I do want to address, though, before we get into the map and everyone goes, why are all the names UQU colors?
Yeah.
There's been a bit of an issues with getting the players their proper names. Trust me when we say it, it is, you know, Clint the pot man in the top lane, Scott and the jungle, Emiter? A middle. My handwriting is terrible. A middle in the mid lane. Deanne on AD carry, and in support it is Chard. That is the UQ lineup.
Yeah, and on QT the other side is Nightfall in the top lane, Hingubi in the jungle, Eden in the mid lane, Akira in the AD carry, and Rusty in the support role.
Yeah, not the Rusty,
No,
and
not the
in
Rusty.
jungle it's not the high end goodbye that was on the team last time, despite them being
Very
spilled.
similar.
Yeah, almost the same way, but
Just in an E on the end that would be high and goodbye.
yeah. I mean, look, there is one big difference, though, between both these jungles, and this is an assumption, but I don't think we're going to be seeing Hingubi pulling out the first pick Shaco. I think that was a high and goodbye special, and I don't see that coming back in this one. I'm hoping not.
As long as we don't get Yasuo picked into Malphite Rammus, I think it's an improvement from last year.
Yes, who could forget Malphite Rammus as, you know, something that I think the players are showing out. Before they called QUT TAFE. Well, QUT is responding by bringing up Deanne's win rate right now, which is a bit lower than 40%. Not the best, and he's going to be hoping to turn around today. But this is just what I was talking about, you know, this rivalry between the two schools. Yeah. It's real. They do not like each other. They will go into the parking lot. The fists might be thrown. They won't connect because we're all video gamers, and, you know, fighting's not our specialty. But everyone will enjoy watching it nonetheless.
Of course. I mean, I don't know if it'd go that far. I don't think they'd step off the rift. It is a video game tournament.
Yes.
Esports. We should be jumping into Champion Select very shortly, though, and we'll see exactly what these teams can pull out. We are on 10.4, so we are up to date with live. We did get tricked by that last year. We were on 10.2, but here we are into Champion Select.
We are underway. Our first pick and bans of 2020. It is UQ on the blue side, QUT on the red side, and starting things off, we're getting rid of the only correct champion to ban away, and that is Zoe.
Rest in peace, my Zoe. I mean, I haven't played her yet this season. I haven't played her in a while, but one of the best blind pickable mid laners, can play into pretty much any matchup early on. Aphelios as well, the clear #1 AD carry. I think also QUT on the blue side, UQ's on the red side for game 1. Elise as well taking off the board, a very high priority jungler at the moment. I think Gragas is a better bet. I think Gragas is much stronger than Elise when you get into the later stages of the game, but nevertheless, I have to see how it goes.
Yeah, actually, I do apologize. You are absolutely correct. It is actually QUT on the blue side. UQ is on the red side, so I apologize for getting that wrong. It is a bit difficult when everyone is technically under the UQ banner at the moment, and I don't know if this is against the competitive integrity of this tournament, but it's awkward kind of seeing UQU ref playing right there on the UQ side. Again, that is a joke. UQU ref is one Chard, as Set has been the next one banned away, and it's just kind of seeming a lot of the power picks within the current meta, they're just all being taken off the board right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Set is such a disgusting champion. I played my first game against him yesterday. since I had like a 2-3 month break from League due to having no internet, no computer, which was pretty hard. And playing against that set, I just had no idea what he did, and he just dumpstered me. I think he got like 4 or 5 solo kills. I was just playing my trusty Aatrox, and it was disgusting.
I mean, you cannot undervalue the level 2 all-in from a set. Similarly, Ornn will be taken away. If anyone has been following, the top-tier competitive meta, Ornn has been must-pick or ban, and that means our priority pick will be none other than Senna.
Very interesting first pick Senna. I mean, obviously, you have to play her the way that Sven played her over in the LCS, playing her. I mean, you could be support Senna, right? It doesn't have to be a AD carry Senna, but you can definitely play Senna non-CS, the traditional like Senna Ornn lane you've seen, Senna Tahm Kench as well, where the support is the one taking the CS and Senna's just soul farming. But a Lucian lock-in straight away for UQ.
And, okay, I don't think we're going to see the Nunu locked in just yet.
Well,
well yes.
Scott, we don't know.
It is Scott. That is an unknown. I do like the Lucian lock-in. I think just with his early aggression, that could mean easier dragging control, which has become such a priority, it feels like. In response to the Senna, though, the Lucian can be flexed. We can see it mid. Yeah. We can see it bot. I actually think it's more likely to be taken mid as a result,
really?
Just because... Yeah, I'm feeling adventurous. I like to make these bold predictions with nothing really backing them. That's kind of what I do. It's why I'm very low elo. But I want to see that be run by one a middle in the mid lane.
I mean, interesting to see the Leona lock in too. Usually the traditional trade here is you pick a Zyra Rakan red side. But I suppose the Leona's blocking a potential Rakan to pair up with the Senna. But obviously Tahm Kench is locked in one of those safe supports. Yeah. One of the more debated champions in the game, good old Tom Coco. Very boring clanner play style, but I actually don't mind a cheeky Tahm Kench. I think it's an alright champion.
I mean, and it's really the right setup that you want for the Senna. I know back during the Demacia Cup, which, yes, is a month or so ago, but Tahm Kench Senna was the go-to for a lot of the teams then, so seeing QUT go to that, it makes sense to me. J4 as well has been a really popular jungler at the moment. Granted, usually you see it run with an MF. You kind of get that combo there, but MF's man away. Jarvan's still available, and that will be locked in for Hin Goodby. It does leave one last pick at the moment. The Cho'Gath hover is just that, a hover. Lee Sin would make far more sense, especially on someone like Scott.
Interesting to see Lee Sin paired with the Lucian and Talia's of Gok, and that's a good lock-in. Because generally if you're going to pick a Lucian, you're going to flex it into a solo lane, right? You don't want an AD jungle, you want AP. Something like the Elise or the Gragas is quite strong with it, because then you've got to vary up the damage. And Talia could potentially be flexed into the jungle. I don't know if she's that. And the jungle is possible, but usually she's playing mid right now, which is a decent blind pickable mid. But there's still too many counters into Talia that are still up. So let's have to see what they ban.
You have to see where things go from here. Rise will be taken away, so not too surprising moving forward. Taking a step back right now, though, I'm actually a little bit surprised, and dare I say, almost disappointed that everyone's kind of hitting hard meta champs right now. We're not seeing anything crazy in this opening match. Like, I don't know, if I was back there playing, I'd be like, you know what? Let's go nuts. Let's go Aurelion Sol.
Aurelion Sol jungle with Rune and Hurricane.
Okay, now look.
Blood Razor, Rune and Hurricane for sure.
Look. You don't necessarily need to take him jungle. You can play him support as well. But
just take all the CS.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
We're to the center, right?
Senna doesn't need CS. Your AD carry doesn't need CS. It should all go to the soul, as Echo and Silas have been banned away. So we're getting very closer to those final 2 picks at the moment. Still kind of pumping along. Now, I can safely say, looking behind me, the crowd has been steadily growing. The anticipation is starting to build, and that's great to see. I want to see this room hopefully filled up by the end of this pick and ban. I mean, it could be a big ask, but...
I mean, one sleeper OP pick that people could pick here into the... well, for QT was Fizz. I'd love to see a Fizz here, because Fizz is giga broken in solo queue. Champ's like 54% win rate. Counters literally every control mage in the game, and would just dumpster on this Talia.
Giga broken.
Champion sleeper OP. Should be pick ban 100%. I hate that champion.
I'm stealing that term, as Rumble has been one that I've actually found to be a big giga broken. Kled would be a more conventional pick, and that is going to be locked in.
I mean, it blocks tanks, it blocks other carry matchups, but I mean, into Aatrox count, Kled is really, really good because of their grievous wounds on his Q, right? He got that buff a while ago. Just super underplayed champion, actually. But Kled's so much fun. I just love going like at least 0-11 and still ulting into a team 1v5. It's so great.
Whenever I
Kennen.
see a Kled, I have to think back to last year when, and this isn't a good shining moment for Kled, but that heroic charge past the Death Bush that left all the 80 carries out to die during the high school league. And oh
Surely
no,
Sona top. Oh no, Sona mid. Sona Soraka.
Soraka, no, you can't go Soraka top with the Kled already locked
No, you
in.
can go Soraka mid. Oh, you can go Kled mid. Kled mid's decent. Into Pantheon too is actually not bad.
I would love to see a Nidalee lock in. Actually, I think
Put it in
Nidalee
the jungle.
would fit Scott's play style very well. That would mean it would be
I haven't
Italia
seen
in the
Nidalee
mid.
in so long. I think the last time Nidalee was played was like 2016 when the champion was meta.
Well, it's getting
There you
picked
go.
right here. So Scott will be taking that Nidalee. We do
That means
have
it's Lucian bot too.
Yeah, we do have our final lineups right there. It is a Lucian bot, not a Lucian top. I'm disappointed in one Clint the Potman. I really thought that he would be brave enough to take that Lucian, but instead he will be resorting to the Kled. Deanne will be on that Lucian instead. The other pick that I think we kind of overlooked, though, was that Kennen lock-in at the moment for Nightfaller.
I mean, Kennen's always been decent, and it does actually provide decent AP damage, right? You're going Pantheon mid into Talia, which is quite a good matchup for the Pantheon. If you can land that stun ever before level 6, he's pretty much guaranteed kill. Got the 6 roam around early, but definitely going to be in the tempo lead here for QUT to do stuff early, because if Senna can... if Senna can't get online and get enough souls to stack up her lethality items, it's going to be very hard for QUT to maybe contest this team late. I mean, both teams actually pretty early game comps, to be honest. Lucian doesn't provide a lot of late game damage. Him and Pantheon are going to fall off equal amounts. Talia doesn't have a lot of single target damage either, and Kled's not the best. They're not the best comps, to be honest. They're both early game comps, but they're not strong enough early game to really push through.
No, but I think they are reflective of how strong the Dragon meta really is right now.
Yeah,
Both of these teams are designed to almost peak at level 6. Something that I like, though, from the QUT side is the Senna lock-in, because that is a bit of that late-game scaling insurance, and that's something I don't really see UQ having. That said, though, we are on the Rift. The match is going to be officially underway. As soon as that barrier comes down, the champions will come running out. If you're a fan of UQ or a fan of QUT, I want to hear it throughout the entirety of this best of 3.
Okay, and just a reminder, UQ are on the red side, QUT on the blue side, even though all the names are the same. So we're not getting that too confused. We see the teams spreading out to the Rift and getting involved.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice, safe line of scrimmage drawn in the sands. I'm sorry for all you other bloodthirsty bandits like myself. No level 1 Clown Fiestas in this match. It is pure super serious time. Bringing it back, though, I definitely want to keep track of the junglers in this one, just because of how important these first dragons are going to be. I think if either Scott or Hin Goodby can establish early pressure, early map control, that's going to pay off in spades considering these team comps.
Oh, and Q landed already from Scott. Interesting, Conqueror taking middle. I didn't know that was a thing you did. And also Dark Harvest and Talia, very interesting. Conqueror on Pantheon. I thought Press the Attack was the go for that champion, but have to see exactly how these champions go. I mean, I haven't really watched too much of the league, so I'm a bit out of date.
Yeah, fair enough. I know you're getting distracted by the Conquerors, but I think you're missing the most fun one right there, and that is on
Dark Harvest.
Yes, that is on one a middle, the Dark Harvest on the Talia. I'm definitely excited to see the stacks come through, but aside from that, it is pretty stock standard starts at the moment. It will be, the red buff start for the Jarvan. On the opposite side, Scott will be looking to mirror. So with that, we might see some level 2 jungle interaction, especially considering that Hin Goodby is already looking at the mid lane.
Yeah, you can see exactly how they
He's gone in, and that gets an early flash, actually, out of this Talia. Scott, though, he's flashing over the wall, gets the return flash from Hin Goodby. Already a small victory, really, for both sides.
I mean, 2 flashes burnt for 1. Talia needs her flash a lot more than Pantheon does, to be fair, but very even trades there in the middle lane. Good passing by Hin Goodby, but good thing is Scott seeing around there to counter the game. Ooh, you're gonna go in.
That is a long-range Zenith blade, and it does force the flash out of the Senna. She's trying to turn it around, but with the Ignite, it will not be enough.
That Q heal, too OP. Too OP.
Akira surviving on the skin of his teeth after the end of that one. Still, a critical flash and heal has been used by both AD carries at the end of that, which does mean, I think, level 3 and 4, we could be seeing a return from our junglers.
Well, that's a huge advantage here towards QUT. Calm Pen still has both his summoners, that Cleanse and the Flash are up, where the UQ has burnt all 4 summoners for a bit of a trade. You see the power of this support center, or carry center, but doesn't farm, right? She's just stacking up right now. I've got that Spectral Sickle there, stacking that up, getting some decent gold. And this champion's so nuts. You watch it about like 20 minutes into the game. She'll still have the most gold out of everybody and have 0 CS.
Yeah, as you can see, it is a case of Rusty doing the farming down in that bot lane. Really volatile at the moment, especially considering how low Deanne is. Fortunately, though, for UQ, they have been able to track the positioning of HinGoodby, so Deanne can afford to play this far forward. He's not going to get jumped on anytime soon, especially with Scott still hanging around on the bot side of the map.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I get a back timing in illusion. I mean, you kind of have to go back. It is that low in health and burn all your sums too. It's too dangerous to go this ways. But QUT have now got a really nice freeze down this bot lane. It's going to be very difficult for Leona and Illusion to step up and break this wave, especially because Leona's not the most defensive support either.
Should be seeing a bit of action happening in that mid lane as up top, yes, the bear trap does connect onto Nightfaller, but this Kennen doesn't seem to care. He's a small target. I guess that was just a small little flesh rune. Does have to be careful though, because this is a big wave pushing into the tower. Normally would leave him vulnerable. However, I do believe Scott was sniffed out down there below. He was on that ward there, so Nightfaller, plenty of space to play with.
You can't really, yeah. I mean, when you got a big enough wave like that early on in the game, it's quite hard to execute a gank right because the minion damage is insane. And Cled's one of those champions that, oh, nice Q stuff there. I hate that when that happens. That's the worst thing.
Well, that's why you just don't back on wards. Simple, right?
There was no ward. Oh, there was a ward. They put
yeah, there's totally a ward right there.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, well, and that's why it happens to you all the time. We're learning. But yeah, no, don't back on wards, kids. It always ends poorly. And I don't want to hear that excuse that, oh, but they're invisible for me. I can't see them. Well, you know what? I don't care. It's not good enough. Sniff them out.
That center room is so... Champion's so overpowered. It's overloaded, right? Stop making these champions with nuts kids. Like Ophelia, it comes with a textbook. It's like when you open your computer back up and then instructions, you actually have a manual on how to play that champion.
Yeah,
no one understands, but somehow they work. So.
Look, I just approach Aphelios like I would approach any other champions, and you just run straight at them and push all the buttons. That's what I do. That's how I play. AKA the Nocturne strat. It works for me. Kind of.
Nocturne mid is actually sleep OP too. That can come out maybe.
Nocturne mid, dude, I first saw Nocturne mid run by the QUT team. Like, they were the ones who introduced me to the Nocturne mid, so I'm excited to see if they pull off something similar to that. I mean, Pantheon mid's pretty unusual, but what also is a bit unusual, actually, is UQ getting the upper hand tempo-wise, as it looks to be them getting that first dragon.
Yeah, well, QUT did go for that later reset, right? Lucian got the early back. Did only pick up the long sword with matching the items on the other side. Senna has got her boost of speed, so she's going to be ahead when it comes to actual laning stats at the moment, but that Mountain Drake going over means that AD, or no, armor and MR is going to be boosted up by, what, like 4% or something in the first Drake? So
yeah.
Not too impactful, but that's the first step towards the Solemn Wall. No, it's definitely not going to be Mountain or Cloud.
No, but that's a fantastic grab, though, for UQ. Again, these are very, very aggressive team compositions. I expect level 6 as we'll see Fire Rusher maybe a bit earlier. Flag and Drag does connect. The Ignite has been dropped, and so has been Scott. First blood going to HinGoodby.
Yeah, driving beyond that first one to Italy, getting you so far behind that farm too, because Italy is one of those junglers who just power farms through that jungle now, and will be evening up that gold just a little bit in the jungle role. QUT starting off with a 1,000 gold lead already, which is quite a large advantage for only being 6.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, that is pretty significant right there, especially considering how well Scott had been doing thus far. He had the CS advantage, he had that first dragon, it kind of felt like he had more map pressure as well, but one little overstay in the mid lane is all QUT needs to really start fighting back in this match.
Yeah, exactly, and you see these teams, seeing how they're going. Pantheon also picked up that Serrated Dirk in the mid lane, so he's doing coming in quite a bit of damage, and Chard in some trouble down here in the bot lane, but...
Chard is very, very low. Heal and flashes are coming back up for everyone in this bot lane as well. Junglers have made their way down. The Weaver's Wall actually cutting off the escape from QUT. This could be a very dangerous situation for Akira, but no, the target is instead going to be Rusty. He has to flash. He stays alive, and it's a great double route. Teleports are coming down. The Pantheon is here. Slicing Maelstrom from up above is cutting off the escape from UQ. Down below, however, that's where they need to fight through, but they cannot catch Mr. Akira. This is QUT's fight to lose. A triple kill for Eden, and QUT are running wild. That is the ace!
Quadra, too, for the Pantheon scrap the match. How to help QUT through this game. It's like a 4-minute loop from the center there playing around that little alcove, and that was quite a fight from both sides. Obviously, Pumpkin's still staying alive, too. Senna's so overloaded. Oh my god. Senna just carried that fight.
Yeah, the kiting coming out of Akira was fantastic. And what a great roam out of Eden. He came down at the absolute perfect time. We knew something was going to happen at level 6. We knew it was going to be big, but an ace?
5-man party in the bot lane.
Of course.
It's just very solely QS.
I know, but at the same time, it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
QUT knew that was going to be their power spike. They knew that's where they were going to come rolling on in, and unfortunately, UQ, they kind of thought they had the right play. They thought Weaver's Wall will get there first, just didn't take into consideration how willing QUT were going to be to take that fight.
That grand Skyfall was just instantly able to answer the global ult. Obviously, both mid laners having great roaming potential there. And then, of course, with Cannon getting down there about 4 seconds before Declared also changed that fight drastically. He got a nice Cannon ulti onto Deanne in the backline, which stopped pretty much all of their DPS, and that's why QUT won that fight so hard towards the end.
You know what's really scary? The fact that right now we have a Pantheon with a Youmuu's Ghostblade less than 10 minutes in. Similarly, seeing this poor Talia caught in the Cataclysm, trying to try and escape, but here's that Ghostblade coming into effect, and yet another kill for one Eden.
That was pretty funny, actually. The Pantheon was stuck over the wall. Could get over the stun jump when we first got the hit auto pathing either side of it. So Pantheon was stuck on the outside a little bit. Obviously, jumped over the end and finished that kill on Talia. But this Pantheon's monstrous now, 5-0. So we're at the point where games.
Yeah. I just want to say, coming into this, like talking to some of the players, QUT was a little bit nervous because this isn't their normal starting mid laner. Like, it is the sub. Well, this sub is currently 5-0-2, less than 10 minutes in, 100% kill participation, already a completed item. If this is the sub, what is their starter like?
I mean, look, hopefully they can do better than, what, 2 and 8 OCS season?
Yeah, man.
2 and OCS season last year, but definitely promising already for this game. It's looking quite good coming out from this Pantheon, but yeah, both teams going to be relaxing, settling back into this game.
Oh, that is a key stop. The Weaver's Wall means no escape. However, it might not have been needed. That is Scott picking up a kill for himself.
I mean, that's one of the biggest things about picking, or biggest advantage of picking Talia. That Weaver's Wall has such good objective control. You can just block the whole team off from a Dragon or a Baron or something like that later into the game, which is quite an advantageous thing. Obviously, that wall coming across, maybe a little bit unnecessary. I think the center was well and truly dead to all right, so they had no flash available. And obviously caught out with the Leon ulti, but good thing.
Oh no, that was such obvious bait, and it was taken, unfortunately, by one a middle. Another kill will be taken for QUT, a 6th kill for Eden, and he is kind of making a garden for himself in this mid lane, just farming up those kills.
You just gotta feel for this Talia, because it's at that point in the matchup now where she literally can't even walk up to CS. She walk up to auto range for this minions, Pantheon just flashing on her insta-kills her. And this second dragon, the Ocean Dragon, going over to the side of QT to see exactly what elemental route we'll be getting this game.
Oh, the good one.
Good one. I like the Ocean route the best, to be honest. The map is so calming. If you're tilted, you just relax the infernals, it's all red and fiery.
Who wants a calming match to start off the 2020 season? We don't want calm. We want chaos. We want fire. We want excitement. Infernal Drake for the win.
Fair enough. I just remember when I was playing, like it's just nice. You're feeling tilted, you just in the room for a couple of minutes. You just press.
Oh, the Zenith Blade.
Here we go. That
was a very long Zenith Blade, and it does draw out the culling from one DN. However, it's not going to do too much. I'm starting to feel like UQ, they're going for some desperate plays, it almost seems like that. The unnecessary Weaver Wall, the Zenith Blade actually being followed through with the culling. UQ, they're trying to find situations that just aren't there.
Yeah, quite exactly. It is maybe trying to overforce and they're falling behind now. And even this play here in this matchup, missing this wall. Oh, all in. Jarvan's here.
Yeah, Jarvan's here, and so is Eden. He gets a big stun on the chart. It forces out the flash. A lot of damage coming through. Fortunately for UQ, they do have Scott sort of waiting just behind. It does mean QUT won't commit to the dive for now.
A lot of key ultimates burnt there, but not much gain there from QT. A lot of triggers pulled, but not much result. This one, but UQ might be forced to stay under tower. A little bit behind this lane. Senna's just so oppressive once she gets ahead in this lane. That extra range advantage is so easy to abuse.
So with all the attention being drawn bot side there as well, like I was a bit surprised to see QUT blow out their resources, but at the same time, it's not like UQ is actually punishing on the opposite end of the map. Unfortunately, Clint the pot man, well, he backed, and an entire wave, maybe even a wave and a half, just got eaten by the tower as this was happening because his teleport was not available. So yes, you can say QUT maybe overplayed down bot, but they weren't punished for it. And until UQ can find a way to do that, it's going to be struggle street for this red side.
I mean, Cled's down. I mean, only 5 CS, which isn't too bad. But 30 minutes, you want to be up around 10 CS PM from both sides. But just a level down already from Cled. You just see this cannon too slippery.
Oh, this is a very aggressive play right now. You can see a lot of UQ are making their way up top. They have been spotted by that control ward. I'm curious if they stick around. Down below is one Hin Goodby, and he's going to drop the Cataclysm actually onto Shard. He does have help in Eden, who will get there, pulls off the stun. Everyone else is converging, but it's too late to save that Leona. In comes a charging Potman, but he's not going to get too much. A defensive flash from Scott should mean the retreat from UQ. Flag and Drag does not connect. Still, that's a very low clan, and he will get brought down. It's actually Rusty who secures the kill. Meanwhile, a re-engage coming from the end. He picks one on the backside, slashing Maelstrom. Does so much! A big double stun and a kill taken back for the Tigers. Scott pounces and secures the kill on Eden. That is a big shutdown as poor Scott, he's looking to re-engage perhaps. He wants to get that sneaky kill on the Nightfaller, who will be happy to run away. So now it's a game of escape. Spear does not connect. Hin Goodby, he doesn't want to commit.
Good play there from Scott to pick up the kill on the backside onto that Pantheon, because he was getting way too far ahead. But now that shutdown's going to be reset onto the jungler. And we were highlighting before the game, Scott's the player to watch for UQ, and he looks like he is the key member right now. 91 CS on that Nidalee, which is on par with his other laners, right? And obviously got all the kills and all the gold on the inside. Now that big shutdown is to be able to complete an item after he backs here, after taking down the red buff. So Scott's the only one to really keep your eyes on him for UQ. Interesting to see Talia going for the Glacial Ornament build with Dark Harvest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I should know how to play Talia.
I'm actually...
last season, but.
I want to give some credit right now to UQ as well. The fact that, yes, normally when you see a team down 7 kills, you're expecting a massacre. But if you take a look up top and the actual gold difference at the moment, it's still quite tight.
Yeah.
They haven't really blown any towers yet. They've kept some semblance of map control. It really was just that disastrous ace that happened down in the bot lane that's been the difference in this one.
The only problem is now QT have picked up that tower. Now, you watch it get dropped in that mid lane, it's going to be doing a lot of damage if this tower does eventually fall. QT just in such a strong position right now. Their champions have boosted their power spike. Senna obviously hasn't hit her lethality item yet. Once she hits that, she's going to be quite dangerous. On the other side, Lucian still trying to complete his item. So both sides looking quite even. Or not even, but, you know, looking ready to have another big fight around here, maybe around this Earth Tower in the mid lane where we're going to see that next big engage.
Yeah, I think that next big engage will be that Infernal Drake, which is spawning in, you know, about 15 seconds, and already the teams are posturing down there. The only one who isn't is Nightfaller, but he does have his teleport available. There is some wards, I believe, just outside the Dragon Pit, although one of them did get spotted by Scott, so it's an easy cleanup there. It is UQ who are better positioned for the fight, and they think they may have caught out one Akira. Akira is able to safely flash it. Nightfaller, he's okay. All right, if we're not fighting for this dragon, I'll just take this tower.
Harold's been spawned topside, so it's just going to look like they're going to chase the dragon for potentially 2 or 3 towers up on the topside, hopefully more than one. But see exactly how they go. But the Infernal Dragon means that UQ are one step closer to that Infernal Rift. If they get Infernal Rift, they can definitely stay in the game, right?
Weaver's Wall does not stop Herald, everybody. Just a fun fact for you right there. As Sizing Maelstrom might do stop UQ as a big aggressive play. It is the 2v1 and it is a kill secured for one Hin Goodby. Scott, though, he's going to try and stop the escape. He gets an easy kill on that cannon. That is a flag and drag escape, however, from Mr. Goodby, and UQ does not want to chase.
Is that spear point and click? Watching Scott play this game is point and click spear. He hasn't missed many of those at all. I mean, that one that he threw like the one way was coming, but a little prediction spear can't go wrong there. Looking for the highlight plays. Very well played from both sides.
Yeah, this has been a very, very well-played game so far, and again, it's just been one bad fight that's been the difference. Flag and Drag does get the flash, still returns out the play, does connect, and all of a sudden Hin Goodby is on the run. A big ultimate from Senna does a lot of healing, but not a lot of damage. Either way, it's enough for each team to disengage.
Both teams just backing off, resetting once again. That top lane tower still holding on, Cled up there on the top side, looking to trade one back for his own side. But both these maps kind of entering a bit of a lull state now, trying to get some farm, getting towards those next converted items. You can see the Iceborne Gauntlet. I mean, I haven't seen Nidalee in a year and a half. I didn't know that was a build. Interesting to see that item built.
Yeah, I think it's just a case of UQ needing some semblance of a front line. And I guess, you know, maybe making the Nidalee a little bit tankier. We've already seen that it's not affecting the damage that much at all. Scott's still hitting like an absolute truck. those spikes, you know, are deceptive. They're quite sharp on the gauntlet there. I mean, actually, I'm curious.
I didn't know cats wear gloves.
Yeah, cats have
human thing.
kittens in mittens.
Oh god.
That's what it is, and that's what Scott is. Scott is an adorable little kitten that will stab you right through the heart.
Yeah, if he's nothing to do with his claws, that's it. Scott's gonna ruin your day.
Yeah.
Send you back to the fountain.
Flag and Drag is going to connect onto one shard, and the rest of QUT is here. It's all about who gets the kill. Well, none of them, because it's a great defensive flash. Still, Rusty pushing forward, gets a nice little lick, a taste of what he wanted, but no kill secured this time.
Pumpkin just ate that full culling into
Oh my god, the Flag and Drag actually has fallen through with the Cataclysm, and that is a middle just stuck in a terrible position right now. Here comes back up with Pantheon, but the rest of UQ is here as well. They're trying to turn around. The flash escape is jumped upon. Will it be enough for this jungler to escape? Tom Kench is there. He eats up Mr. Hen Goodby, and Hen Goodby will get away for now.
That was a nice Q over the wall there from QUT. Scott here, 1v5 under the tower.
Oh, Scott does not want to be here. He does get the flash despite being stunned. A nice little return spear for QUT, but QUT's happy with the way things have progressed. They got the tower. They got the kill onto a middle as well, and they're still pushing forward.
That was a really nice pick there. Obviously, Leona also not backing it, but she fell so quickly in the fights, and UQ just getting picked off time and time again by QUT.
Clint, yeah, I mean, Clint's sticking around, no Scarl, no health. He has to retreat, so it's really a 3v5 situation, and with that, QUT able to do and take whatever they want now. We do have the big purple worm known as a Baron Nashor spawning in about 25 seconds. I feel like if QUT continues to apply this pressure, it's only a matter of time before they secure that objective.
Yeah, I mean, that big purple worm, Baron Nashor over there is very key objective, and that's probably one of the strongest buffs in the game. Besides the Elder Dragon, which shoots his big lasers. Well, what is it, a laser?
I don't know.
I've been hit. It's a laser dragon, bro.
Yeah, laser dragon. I like laser dragon. Laser dragons are cool. Right? That's very like vaporwave.
Let's make it a space dragon instead.
Yeah, I like laser dragons. It reminds me of the 80s, which everyone always tells me is a better time than now.
I mean, that's 20 years before my time.
Yeah, I know.
80s are long. Maybe back in your day.
80s aren't even back in my day, man. If you're from the 80s, though, like...
You're a 90s baby?
I'm a 90s. Like I'm 91. I'm a millennial.
You're almost 80s. You might as well be 80s.
Look, I am not associated with glam rock in, like, the tail end of disco, okay? That is not my scene.
I don't know, man. 91 might as well be 89.
That said, at the moment, still have, you know, a fairly significant lead for QUT, a nice 5K advantage. It's been slowly, incrementally growing as this game has progressed. Obviously, that big mid push has added to this QUT side, and at this stage, I feel like they're just trying to starve out UQ.
Oh yeah, UQ getting stuff out of their own jungle, not being able to secure any objectives. Ulti coming in.
Abyssal Voyage as well as one Eden, each making a play on Scott. They're not going to get him this time, but those are two critical ultimates gone. Now, it does look as if, you know, Dragon Pings are coming down. QUT do want to secure this objective, but with those abilities gone, instead it's a pick like Cataclysm goes down on the Scott, and it leaves poor Shard on his own. He will be the first to fall. Slicing Maelstrom looking for stragglers. They might have found DN. Yes, they have a second kill for the Tigers as Scott, the last one left alive, jumps to safety.
Yeah, what a QUT now just open up the game, going to pick up this Infernal Dragon, and at this point UQ not doing much, you know, falling behind and scaling. Lucian's not doing any damage. Cled's still way too far behind to really impact these fights, and with the blue team taking that dragon down, that's almost in center. I wonder how many souls she's on, actually. I'd love to get a soul check on the center.
There's a ward there, buddy! Clint, you don't want to stick around, but his escape has been cut off. Nowhere for Cled to go as Clint the Pot Man will be just given over yet another kill to Akira.
And there should be the bottom tower going over here as well. Scott farming up the enemy jungles. BrisAsia trying to get something back for his team, but shouldn't be nonetheless. QUT picking up this tower and maybe push it. No, they're just going to reset, spend their gold, get their last items, and then work with into this game.
Yes, definitely could be the case. Now, during this reset, it could be opportunity for UQ to maybe establish some vision around the Baron, try and set up that miracle play, but it really would be a miracle play in this situation. They have fallen so far behind. It's been a methodical approach coming from QUT, one that has been quite successful, constantly catching members of UQ out of position. Most recently, it was the bot lane. Shard was stepping forward thinking they just use their ultimates, we can get some vision around that dragon. Not to be the case, and I don't know, if we're going to see this miracle play, who really has the ability to step up and sort of 1v5 it?
I mean, like, you're still looking at really the only way UQ can come back into this game is maybe through a Baron Spear. One of the walls Spear Flight, Spear Flight, smite on the Baron, right? But QUT have a really strong Baron control with the Pantheon and the Cannon, right? Being able to jump over the wall very quickly. Got a lot of CC instant stuns and set up for each other, so it's going to be very hard for Scott to actually get into the pit. And he's got no support from anyone else. Chard is way too far behind to be for any assistance. He's just one of the tankier champions in the game, but he's not doing much in that regard. You
say no support from his team, but look, there is still one method that the team can help out Scott, and it is called the power of distraction. So if everyone runs from down below and just gets obliterated, but Scott's able to sneak around and get that critical spear to steal that Baron away, well, you know what? I'd call that a success.
I would call that a success. I also call it an impossible situation. But hey, if they got Slide Ultimate, they could go for something.
You also have the Weaver's Wall as well, so there are avenues for UQ to get creative. That said, it is a big ask and one that I definitely... It would be amazing if they could pull it off, but it's plays like this. One Nightfaller on this cannon. He's been a bit silent, but look at this potential of the 1v1. The Slicing Maelstrom into the Cataclysm just does so much damage, and then you have Akira to secure the kill from the mid lane. That's right, global ults, they're a thing. They're annoying, but they do their job, and QUT just adding to an already ridiculous lead.
Because Kurt's just automizing full armor here, so that cannon is just shredding straight through him. He's got no protection against it. There he goes, QUT onto the Baron. You should know that they're here. I want to see if they actually go for a steal belt, just give it up and win the game.
You have to imagine they're going to go for a play. You can see UQ trying to get there, although they kind of destroyed the blasting cone. I'm not sure that was intentional. He's going to throw some rocks over the wall in middle, just trying to see and learn what he can. But no, it's QUT who pulls the trigger. Pantheon comes over the wall. Here comes the damage. That is actually the Tom Kench securing the kill, forces the defensive play out of Shard. Abyssal Voyage into a spear nearly takes out Rusty, but the Tom Kench stays healthy enough. Another spear is not going to connect, and QUT go back to work on that Baron.
Yeah, going back to work there. TT expended here from a cannon boost, so he'll be around to try and play protected. And all you gotta do is just sit that drop right there. There's no way to
Scott's still looking for it though. Spear still coming over the wall. You can see Goodby, he's trying to do some blocking. It's down below. That's an engage coming from the Kled and the Lucian. Flag and track over the wall. Does connect on the Scott, who has to jump back defensively. Baron's at half, it's been reset. This could be that final fight though, as QUT is coming barreling through the jungle. 2 kills quickly secured. Yes, Scott has flash, but it might not be enough. Flag and track connects. The follow-up damage is there. 3 members down for UQ.
Yeah, and there you go with the jungler dead. That QUT will go and pick up this Baron here, and will only a matter of time the game is over.
Yeah, it's just the ticking time bomb right now. UQ, and again, they're still sticking around this Baron. They still want to make that play. I mean, go for the highlight reel for sure. The Weaver's Wall is going to come straight through the middle, but it doesn't look like a middle wants any of it. The Slicing Maelstrom's back off cooldown. It'll just stun the remaining 2 UQers in place. That is the unofficial ace. Yes, Char did spawn in time, but finally, this Baron will go down.
Hey, hold your peace. Maybe not fancy my full Baron too, but no, the Baron does finally go down. We can have that now for the next 3 minutes of the game, and it seems like we're damage they can do click while they have this far.
It took long enough. I think that was like, what, a 2.5 minute Baron take right now with 3 team fights?
Maybe, and the Baron was it a Baron take? Was the Baron engaged the entire time?
It was, look, it was engaged, it reset, it engaged, reset, but there was always someone in that Baron pit.
Maybe 4 minute Baron dance, maybe 5 minute Baron dance there, but it does eventually go down, and looks like they're moving straight towards this Inferno break this morning.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's...
They are if they get their one-off soul point, right, which is exactly where you want to be. I don't know if the game will last long enough for that spawn, for the soul to actually be taken, but we'll have to leave it up to QT's judgment to see exactly what they want to do. Can we get these waves prepped, take the Baron, take the Dragon, sorry, rather, while they're waiting, and then pick it up, and from there we'll go to end up the game.
Yeah, that could very easily be how this one plays out. I think UQ just has to stop trying to force some of these fights because they've been just getting caught out time and time again.
Yeah.
I understand desperate times come for desperate measures, and you are looking for that crucial pick. It's just none of them have been paying off just yet, and QUT's lead has just been building and building and building. Already over 10K, and maybe this is the pick, however. Culling does come down onto Eden, but Eden has help from the team. Will get swallowed up over the wall. A good escape effort as the rest of QUT is just laying waste to the base of UQ. They're pushing forward. Fire and Drag does catch Shard out of position, and the follow-up damage is there from Akira. A big ultimate helps Akira second to send his Nightfaller with that kill is down below. QUT is running rampant. They've gotten 4. Only Scott's left alive, but he's on the wrong side of the map, and the QUT Tigers are in prime position to take game number 1.
Yeah, game 1 of the best of 3 going over to his final little chase feat.
Happy feet. Yeah, he's still alive. He's got the happy feet, but as he gets pushed further and further away, the Nexus Tower and the Nexus gets brought further and further to the ground. Give it up to QUT, winners of game number 1. I feel like we're in a UQ heavy crowd.
Yeah, it seems like it. Not a lot of cheer from either side, but at least good admiration from the opposition supporters. Look at those KDAs on the side of QUT. 1 death each, still keeping their perfect KDAs intact, and a very quick, or reasonably quick game from QUT. Demolished UQ pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, UQ did show some good things to me in the first 5-10 minutes of that game, but really, as soon as that ace happened in the bot lane, it was like the floodgates opened up.
That was it.
And QUT, they could just do no wrong. UQ got a little bit desperate. It felt like they started trying to force things that they maybe didn't have to. If they had played a bit more conservatively, maybe they could have extended the game a bit longer. But at the same time, these were 2 aggressive teams. So even if you drop back to that conservative ideology, that just means a slower loss instead of one that ends in under 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly, right? And at the end of the day, it was just that. It was. I think the main difficulty was the mid lane that obviously. Eden got so
popped
fed
off
on the Pantheon straight away, and once he gets that fed, it's kind of impossible for that Talia to ever contest that mid lane. You got no mid lane priority, means you can't rotate, can't do much outside of that, and that's pretty much the game over there. Can't help about that center time Kench. I mean, hopefully I hope UQ pick a better bot lane, because I feel like the Lucian Leona just wasn't there.
It was aggressive, and I did appreciate the aggression. If they had gotten like a kill or 2 before level 6, I believe it could have paid off. Maybe. But instead, the kills went the other way, because as QUT got to level 6 first, they went down there, and then unfortunately bot lane did go boom, and next thing you know, Akira got to that late game stage a bit earlier than expected. It was at like the 25-minute mark. He was starting to one-shot people. Not to mention Akira's positioning in that ace was near immaculate. The kiting coming out the center was fantastic. Bought the time for Eden to come down there. Really, you could say the game was won at that moment, and UQ
100%.
did not do enough to get back into it.
No, and we will be jumping into game 2 very shortly. We'll have a quick break and we'll be back with you just after that. So stick around. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, and we'll be back for game 2 of QUT versus UQ.
Founded in 1996, MSY Technology is one of Australia's leading computer retailers with 28 stores across New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia, Tasmania, Victoria, Western Australia and the ACT. With 22 years of experience and partnering only with the top IT vendors to ensure a supply of quality and reliable products, MSY is best known to offer competitive prices on a wide selection of computer components, latest gaming gadgets, notebooks and accessories to suit every need and budget. Please visit your nearest store to check out MSY's own line of MSpec premium PCs designed from the ground up for extreme gaming performance, or DIY your own customized PC at selected stores.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back here live at the University of Queensland. I am one formal casting. Trust me, it's more than just what I'm wearing. It's the lifestyle. Joined by Mitchell Replays Anderson, and we have just witnessed QUT really take it to UQ in game number 1 here.
Oh, exactly. It was a quick, swift 28-minute victory here for the side of QUT, and hopefully UQ can strike back in game 2 and we take this game to a 3-game series. I mean, our predictions were both 2-0 for QUT. Obviously, QUT fielding the stronger roster on paper, and obviously on the Rift too, and hopefully they can come back just after this game, and we'll have to see how they go. I mean, UQ trolled draft a little bit last game. It was pretty grief, not gonna lie. But,
yes, but you have to remember, it's D for Deanne, all right? Like, he's going to fight back. If anyone could do it, I believe in Deanne.
D4 for now. 38% win rate might be P1 pretty soon. P2 maybe.
Yeah. We joke, of course, because this is a friendly environment. Yes, it is a grudge match. Yes, these two teams do hate each other, in quotations. But this is a fun environment, as you can saw before. The crowd is here to have a good time. So are we. And from what we've seen so far, one team, QUT, definitely is having a fantastic time in this one. And if I'm going to shout out one player, it's going to be Eden in that mid lane.
Yeah, well, he popped off the Pantheon last game, 8-1 and 7, I believe his finals KDA was. It was because that massive fight erupted in the bot lane with, 5? No, it was a instant ace, quadra kill for the Pantheon, 10 minutes into the game, and at that point, a Yomu's Ghostblade and another serrated Dirk means it's almost game over for them in the mid lane. Are we reminding them of the roster? I believe we're reminding them of the roster. So QT Tigers, I think they'll be swapping sides maybe. So on the red side this game, you've got Nightfall up in the top lane, Hingubi in the jungle. New name in the mid lane. They're switching their mid laner over. Akira in the bot lane and Rusty in support for QT Tigers.
Yes, just wanted to bring something. See, look, I'm formal, everyone. I have a tie. That means I'm formal again. Yay! Clearly put on. Exactly. This is how all ties should look. And thank you. Thank you for the round of applause. You're welcome.
Finally respecting the name you've put yourself down for when it comes to casting. But
look, I read Twitch chat, okay? I take what they say very, very seriously. And when they were being mean and rude to me, and I'm going to lose sweep, but now I have this tie, and they can't say anything bad anymore. It's like my shield, my Braum shield.
Look, sticks and stones may break my bones and words will never hurt me. It's the classic ode, and it is true.
Yeah.
It's true. Sticks and stones, people.
All right, I think it's Twitch chat. It's now time to flame, Leo over here, as opposed to going after me. That said, in 1 minute, we will be getting back into our series. Quick refresher of what actually went down in game number 1. Well, it was rough times for UQ. Yes, they may be hosting this event, and they also hosted a level 6 party down in that bot lane. It was a quick ace, and QUT never looked back.
Yeah, after that huge fight down in the bot lane, ace onto UQ side. QT just snowballed the game, and from there had another couple of fights, a little bit of interesting stuff going on around the Baron, but ultimately the game was taken quite swiftly by QT. Changing the hairstyle up once again. It's
dude, because it's going to be guerrilla warfare. I think if there's any way for UQ to get back into it, they need to embrace the jungle. They need to embrace Scott, and Scott needs to have a bigger impact, I think, a bit faster. Yes, the cards were stacked against him after what happened early in that, but I liked the Nidalee pick. I think he was doing some good things with him. I still think they should be a jungle-focused team, and they need to stick with it.
I mean, I think the Nidalee pick was a little bit interesting. The whole draft from UQ in general wasn't too cohesive, right? You had that Lucian in the owner lane, which is you want a strong ganker, and Nidalee's not really that. It's a hard farming champion. The mid lane, it was a terrible matchup for Talia. She couldn't really do much. Jumping into champions very shortly too, and that top lane as well, the Kled matchup, it wasn't the right pick. Maybe a Gragas or something in the jungle was maybe the thing you need to tie that comp together, but overall, the comp was just so much better on the side of QT, and that's why they just absolutely swept through that game.
Yeah, I mean, they were designed for that level 6 fight. They got the level 6 fight that they wanted, and then they won the game. Sometimes it is that simple, especially when you are a, silver-leveled play-by-play caster who doesn't think too hard about the game and just likes to yell at the flashing lights.
Are you silver now?
Now, yes, let's go with that. Let's go with that. That said, that we are going to be going into picks and bans right about now. I want to hear this crowd get excited. If you're from UQ, it's do or die if we want to see that game 3. If you're from QUT, hey, early nights are sometimes the best nights. Maybe you can get it done right here, right now.
See Senna taking off the board straight away, taking that right away from QT. I mean, I'm not unsure who's on what side. So UQ are on the blue side this time, QT on the red side, changing it up from last game, and Zoe once again being banned out.
Are you sure about that one? Because according to the sheets I see here,
Have I got the wrong way around again?
No, it is. You're right. You are right. Yes, you are right.
right.
Again, I emphasize with everyone watching at home with the UQU blue versus UQU red, it is a little bit confusing. We have a sheet. We have a cheat sheet. We will use it to the best of our abilities. I have already read it wrong twice. So clearly my abilities are not nearly as high as the players in this game, but very much similar bands this second time around.
Yeah, get set out of here. I hate that. I played one game against and just decided no. The Haymaker is so overpowered. Ridiculous and Aphelios. Pretty much same band. Obviously, MF being changed off for center, I assume. Because I don't think MF's not that strong, right? You can let that through, relatively easily.
That you can, as you can see, headsets coming off right now just to make sure that strategy is heard as clearly as possible. These bans very important. UQ trying to strategize, try to fight their way back in this one. This is that big third ban. Who's it going to be? Now, there's still a lot of power picks still available, especially if you look towards the jungle. Jarvan, banned out.
So again, banning out another pick that QT played last game, which means what the Elise should be up to. We'll have to see what the final ban here from QT will be, but should be some power picks being left up from both sides here, and we'll see exactly what gets locked in when we're jumping into the picks. Quite a slow ban phase from both sides. Elise is being taken off the board, so...
Ooh, this is good. I feel like this actually is pretty good for UQ, just because they still have that Lee Sin available if they want to go that direction. You have Misfortune still available if you want to look more bots focused. But there is still Ornn, arguably the most powerful champion in the game, and so, of course, UQ just insta-locks that in.
Yeah, Ornn is mega busted, but of course, instantly countered by the Braum. Surely pick Yasuo as well to counter it. Just answer with the Braum Yas, but no, Braum MF being picked up here by QUT, so overall being up trade here for QT. I mean, I don't know, the Ornn is a very strong pick, but I have to see exactly what comp UQ builds around it. Nunu, probably not the pick you'll see here in the jungle from Scott, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, again, that will just be a hover. I'm pretty sure that won't get locked in now. I have been critical of Misfortunes in the past, just because I had some very bad experiences casting them when everyone's telling me, oh, Misfortune's great, Misfortune's the best, everyone should play Misfortune. And then I saw Misfortune lose 4 games in a row. So I've decided, yes, Misfortune is a very strong pick, but you have to prove to me that you are worthy of using Misfortune. That comes from correct use of the bullet time.
Yep.
I have an MF pass written right here. Akira's name is on it. If I see good bullet times, I will pass it on. However, I will rip this thing to shreds the moment I see a bullet time get thrown in the wrong direction.
Look, all I'm saying is you pick Gragas here. Every time you have ults, you just ult with the Gragas ulti. Happened. There was a TSMC 9 game, I remember. Was it Colbert got a perfect MF ult on the choke point, and Gragas just knocks Sven and Vulcan straight out of the
but that
either side.
Well, and when that happens, the entire team loses the MF
enemy
pass.
Gragas, dead set. Enemy
Yeah,
Gragas.
no MF pass for anyone in that situation. Scott will not be able to play Nidalee this time around, as we've kind of pushed on through these picks and bans. Yes, the Lovers Duo was taken by UQ, and QUT, well, they responded with the Angry Viking Olaf. What is your take on Olaf? Because personally, I get why he's played, I get how he can be strong, but I just really do not like that champion.
I mean, Olaf is one of those champions who is quite strong when it comes to that individual jungle performance. You saw in a couple of buff comps around him, you play like Karma in a solo lane is quite strong with Soraka as well. When she was powerful in the solo lanes with that Olaf, man, he could power him up and he would just run through anybody. But obviously, interesting pick here when you've got other options available. Other disengaged picks, right? Because you can see so much heavy engage already picked on UQU side. The problem with first picking that Braum, of course, Zyra Khan is available and you can't counter them with Leona MF lane. Because Leona MF main, Leona Misfortune lane is so powerful into Zyra Khan, which is, Zyra Khan is probably the most powerful bot laner outside of Aphelios, right?
Yeah.
Not the individual champions, but together they are. And you see the Soraka hover here from QT. Please no.
Crowd, let him hear it. Rocka locked in. You know it's going top. Here it comes. But, it's picked top for a reason. And it's not just, what you would expect.
I mean, the funniest thing is Ornn can easily solo kill Soraka too, because that champion is nutty busted. The fact that Ornn has a kill range of 600 health at level 6 is ridiculous.
But I also really like the Rocka pick with the Olaf though, because that's just like more sustain for someone who has enough sustain already. On the opposite side, however, we are going to see Scott's Lee Sin, so they are definitely pulling no punches. In fact, they're throwing a lot of kicks as well.
Please pick Fizz mid.
Fizz
is such a good pick into this comp.
All right.
It just negates Zaya, negates Syndra. Blocks Lee Sin too. Fizz is... Oh, that's weak.
Instead, we're seeing Lysandra taken for Eden. Had an amazing game on Talia before, but this time, even though Talia was still available, is going to opt for the Lysandra instead, which does make sense considering the fact that you already have the MF, you already have the Olaf. I think another supporty type mage really fits with what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's other champions being instead of Lysandra. We haven't seen Lysandra since like Worlds last year. Right?
Orianna?
Orianna could have been decent here. I mean, the problem is you have no ball engage with Orianna, like Olaf, besides Olaf running at him, but like there's too much disengage with the side of Ornn and Rakan and Lee Sin kick. I mean, obviously unstoppable, right? But then you just get chunked. I mean, I like UQ's draft. It's a much easier, simpler to execute comp. You know, they are the weaker side, right, on paper. So getting a nice, simple, easy to play composition makes it takes the burden off these more difficult plays. You know, they tried a comp in game one. Obviously now down 0-1, you know, their last game, if they lose this is the end of the series. So picking something a lot safer, a lot simpler, you know, I much prefer it because it means they now have a more opportunity and easier to execute this composition, and so they can play a lot better. So we will be jumping straight in the game. No 3-minute wait because we're in tournament realm.
Woohoo!
Thank God.
Yeah, but also because we're in tournament realm, that's the reason why we don't really see the champion names coming up there on stuck with UQ Red versus UQ Blue, plus some help from a ref account. That said, though, as per last time, we do have the sheet and the names of everyone in front of us. Hopefully, we won't get too lost. Like, it happened a little bit last game, but we have done the audience a bit of a favor. We did hear your feedback. We have taken away the usernames from atop, so you won't get too confused there. You just have to listen to our voices. You can't put us on mute if you want to know who is who.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. You don't want to mute it anyway. So there's fantastic casting going on behind the scenes. Look at a 5-man invade here from QUT. Interesting invading into Braum MF, but we'll have to see. I mean, the thing with QUT's comp too, it's going to be very interesting to see how this Soraka top goes. Obviously, was nerfed last patch, so hasn't got as much wave clear on the Q. But you know, we'll have to see exactly how this champion works. Into Ornn is a decent matchup for both sides too. Soraka doesn't get too punished. Ornn's pretty happy, just sitting there farming up, getting his Ornn upgrades ready to go. Gonna be quite an interesting game. I don't know which comp. I mean, obviously UQ's comp is a much nicer comp. I like it a lot more. But we'll see how much better the QT players are at executing this much harder comp, because you know this comp is really about Olaf jumping up and then MF in the backline. Like Olaf is the true carry here, the one that's going to be tried and buffed up by this Soraka and going to be really just running in and killing everyone. And we'll have to see exactly what happens.
I actually feel like these team comps are a bit more similar on paper as well. Just so the idea is like, okay, you have the aggressive all-in jungle on both sides. You have the AD carry who needs to sit back in that backline, be protected. Really, the difference just comes from the support in the top, where you have, you know, the Enchantress support on the top side for QUT as opposed to on the bot side for UQ, and that's where the crowd control is going to be, where the tanks have been flipped. Even the mages in the mid lane are kind of more of these support mages where they're picked more for their crowd control. Yes, Syndra does have a bit more of that all-in potential with their ultimate at level 6, but just two very similar team compositions in that sense.
Yeah, there's both those simple ultimate, press one button and go. I mean, I do like the Braum too. The Braum MF lane is quite a strong lane into this side of Rakan. If a Rakan ever jumps in, the Braum can get a good Q into a decent ultimate that's going to be quite dangerous. Obviously, Xayah's still got that safety net ultimate, but it's quite a strong lane. It's going to be a lot of poke early on, so you're going to see them pushing up, and that dragon control is definitely going to be on the side of QT.
Yes, I think that could definitely be the case moving forward for sure, but it all comes down to the jungle pathing at the same time, though. If Scott can start to pop off on in this matchup, then 100% I do feel as if UQ, they might be able to get that early dragon control because they did have it in the first game.
Yeah, they did. They got their first dragon, got a third dragon or something, and then it went pretty downhill after that with QT picking up the rest of them in the game. But, initially, UQ definitely had that, major start there, and they were, pushing quite hard. But have to see how it goes. I mean, this game is a lot more of a less aggressive early game from UQ. They want to wait to get those level 6 power spikes, to get their first two item power spikes roughly. Xayah spikes off Essence plus another item. Syndra spikes those first 2 items too. And so a little bit of a slower start here from UQ. So it's all going to be on QT early on to use that early tempo and start pushing advantages with this MF Braum bot lane.
The only player on UQ who I could see not agreeing with that strategy and maybe going for a bit more of aggressive play is the Lee Sin.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I think I don't want to see a slow start from Scott. I do want to see the Lee Sin be aggressive. However, I do feel that Olaf can kind of match that. So it's definitely going to be a tough one for him.
Yeah.
This game is so similar to the first game in that, like, the first fight, I think it's going to determine so much in terms of the tempo and in terms of really the pace and how this entire game plays out.
Yeah.
If QQ falls behind in a similar fashion to what happened in game number 1, I just don't see a way how this team can actually kind of wrestle the lead back.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for them to do that. But, I mean, I suppose just the amount of engage you have with Ornn, and when you have a really good Lee Sin player, it's not one of those champions that falls off either, right? Lee Sin's really strong in that late game with that, insect kick, right? If you're a good enough player at Lee Sin, you're always a threat, and you don't actually fall off, because that ability to just take one carry, like the MF, she puts bullet time, she was immobilized, Lee Sin just jumps and kicks her out, and then, her main cooldown's gone, she can't really get out with a strut, and you just get blown up, and then there goes your main carry damage, and it's going to be very difficult to fight back from that.
Yeah, so I guess there is outs in that facet. I don't know. I like this dynamic we have right now because I really like the QUT draft. You really like the UQ draft, and we really get to sort of just go at it. Not ourselves, actually. They're going to go at it for us. Thank you, players, for going at it for us. As we still have hit a bit of a technical difficulty right now. I do believe it had something to do with Scott's computer, or I only am suggesting this because he's the one typing a lot. I'm sure
But
only.
it's just Scotty, he just always chats.
Yeah, he is a chatty. He is a bit of a chatterbox.
I think it was Hingubi, who has a technical difficulty, was the one that initiated the pause. But we'll have to see how long it takes before we get back into this game. Should be jumping in quite shortly.
So everyone was giving me strife for not being formal enough. Why aren't you getting it for, like, this V line we got right here? Yeah, you got, you're unbuttoned, you're feeling the swag.
It's nice. So
no, it is
I'm
good.
about to go clubbing, so I gotta. I'm gonna be able to get changed.
From League of Legends to the club, you're making the most here of Get Your Geek On.
Yeah, gonna get the mix of both, a healthy bit of gaming and a healthy bit of socializing too.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was a full club atmosphere just behind us before over in the Heath room with some of that K-pop, some of that J-pop, some of that C-pop. I saw some of the choreographed dancing. Like, they knew what they were doing.
Oh, yeah, really? I mean, I wasn't here to check that out, but from the looks of last year, I remember it was, quite an interesting experience seeing those dancers go at it.
It was different this year. It was different. We had DJs. We had, people from the crowd jumping up to get in the dance, and somehow they already knew what was happening. I can't explain. I guess. Okay, shocker to everyone out there, and I'm really sorry if you're a fan of K-pop, but I know literally nothing about it. But apparently, a part of being indoctrinated into the K-pop is you just have these dance moves implanted in you. Yeah, like the song starts playing, like everyone from the crowd just got up. It was like everyone knew how to do this dance except for me.
What was it?
I don't know. It was like okay, that's like the Macarena, but I don't know. I don't have pigtails or neon hair. I can't do the K-pop thing.
I mean, you could have just started doing the floss.
Those are two.
That's the only
that's
dance
not K-pop though.
Yeah, but floss is the only dance move.
There was no flossing. I can guarantee you there was no
At an
flossing.
esports event, there's no flossing.
Well, this was the K-pop event. This is the
but it's
esports.
tied into this. It's getting geek on it. It's all the same thing. No?
Well, surely, someone has got some floss moves in them. Does anyone here actually know how to floss? Because I do not. I'm just looking around right now. Does anyone raise your hand if you actually are brave enough to floss on camera? I know someone here is. No. No one is. No one likes floss. See, and this goes back to my previous point. No one flosses. Not in K-pop and not in esports.
You're supposed to do it daily. It's a good healthcare.
Ah, okay. Dentistry, right?
Yeah.
You floss because your dentist tells you.
Exactly. There's no other reason not to.
All right, well, then maybe you do the floss. Let's see it.
All right, someone give me some string and I'll get stuck in.
No. You know the one I'm talking about. You've been talking it up. Put it up.
No,
let's see it.
No
They're cheering for you. Let's get louder. Let's get Mitch to floss on camera.
No, bro. No way. I'm not gonna do the floss.
I don't know if that's good. Oh, saved by the League of Legends.
I know the power of Twitch. If that clip comes up, it's never ever coming back, bro.
Dude, well, you know what? You know what's more important than flossing? It is this game. We are back on the Rift. UQ versus QUT. A line of scrimmage has been set up. No crazy invades, although a bit of an unusual start, I feel like, coming from Scott.
I mean, starting at blue buff, blue bomb is a really strong 2-camp. Blue bomb can, enjoy. I mean, usually red's a lot better. Red, blue, Gromp is a traditional starting blue buff. It means that Scott wants to pass towards his quad side and get an early gank off with his early Zyra Calm, which is quite a powerful lane, right? That attack speed on both two lovers duo down the bot lane. So it could be quite a potential potently gank, especially since they're shoving this wave to make it bounce back level 3.
that could be the case, as already early pressure being put on as well by the Lovers duo of UQ. I mean, I don't think they were really expecting a blue side start coming from the Olaf, and there could have been an opportunity almost for that Olaf to just rotate down right there. Hin Goodby, he's still sticking around the bot side, but instead it looks like he's going to be going for that full clear, so no crazy level 2 jungle play, at least in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Olaf is one of the, you can't really, if you're going to level 2 gank on anyone, Lee Sin's pretty much the only one that can build on. He's doing quite weak until he gets that. Ooh. Or I'm losing trades in lane, that's a sight to see.
Yeah, to a Soraka.
I hate this. I hate Wonder so much. It's all Wonder's fault.
Oh, look at the damage coming out of Nightfaller.
Actually disgusting. I mean, Ornn's disgusting too. It's just overall just a dirty, dirty game.
You know what? I'm going to be Mr. Contrarian, and I am going to pray nightly to the banana goddess of the top lane. I think we need more Rocket top, just like we need more Yuumi support.
I mean, look, honestly, I don't mind Rocket top, because I just like let into it and you have a great time. You get like at least 8 kills. Just press Q and Soraka just die.
I just wanted to plug Yuumi. That's really all I was going for right there.
Yuumi, I mean, I'm surprised Yuumi hasn't been picked up, because she was quite powerful a patch or two ago.
Yeah, I still think Yuumi can be quite strong, however...
Yuumi Ezreal is quite strong.
Ooh, it is a strong lane, and... However, it doesn't seem like either of these teams really put too much priority in Yuumi. What they have put priority in is a big level 3 gank. It does get the flash out of Clint, so a huge summoner secured for the side of QUT.
Yeah, that's Ornn flash gone, but nevertheless, the big Ox up in the top lane is just going to chill around for a bit, relax. But bot lane's in a really good position if Scott wants to make something happen. He's currently invading. There is vision down there, though, so they do know he's going to be coming in, but if Rakan can get a decent engage, it looks like those guys.
Yeah, and he is going to go for the flash engage. The knockup does connect onto Rusty, and the follow-up, but Scott is there. It does force the heal, and the ignite coming out. But in the end, no one's going to fall just yet. In fact, some damage being returned, actually, by Akira. No kill secured. They did get no flash either.
I think DN's, Blade Cooler cooldown must be next. He had three clovers right behind the bomb, would have pulled it back, and that would have for sure been a kill, so disappointing there.
Oh, Scott going back in and do a brawl. That's a bit risky. The follow-up knockup is there. That's a lot of damage being put down onto Rusty, but not enough to burn the flash.
That was a nice move from Chard there on the Rakan. Nice little, just such a mobile champion. Such good engage, especially in this Xyz lane. Got extra range on that E. Busted champion.
Can I just, slightly off topic?
Yeah.
But in regards to Pool Party MF, I reckon those falling coconuts can legit be used as ASMR.
Oh, it's so satisfying.
It is the most satisfying.
I love the Pool Party skins.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't like the Zoe one actually. I still like Cyberpop the best out of all Zoe skins.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I still love just the falling coconuts though, from the Make It Rain out of the Miss Fortune skins. Is the like
even just like autos. Use those autos. Just
yeah. Oh, it is ASMR. Like, if there's any ASMR in League of Legends, it's the ukulele from Pool Party Mundo. You got the falling coconuts right there from Miss Fortune, and whenever Aurelion Soul says boop.
Oh, that is
just put those 3 things together.
I mean, that's the only reason why I made that champion. Just okay to him go boop, boop.
Again, both of us, it should be worth noting, are part of the Everyone Should Play Aurelion Soul fan club in every single match ever, but apparently that's not going to be the case tonight because he's not meta, I mean, say with very heavy extended quotes.
Riot did kill the champion, to be fair. The mini rework, they just made him worse.
Yeah. Oh, actually a bit of action happening down in that bot river right now, as that was a case of Hidden Goodby getting spotted out, and you saw the pings and players rotating there. No one willing to commit to it, as our camera has decided, you know, the exciting matchup of an Ornn versus Raka is really where the attention should be, because we all know how important top lane is in dictating the further pace of a match, and when it's Ornn versus Raka, like, that's the heavyweight fight we want to see.
Oh god. I mean, the fact that Soraka could actually play top just kind of quantifies how useless the role is.
As we're seeing more heavyweight blows being thrown at each other. Ornn did nearly a third of the Raka's health, and that's just kind of angered Nightfaller, who's going to keep pushing forward. Has a bit of health, actually, from the side of Hin Goodby. Here comes the call of the Forge God, but it's just going to be ignored.
Surprised he didn't go for a chunk.
Oh, that's actually a great engage from UQ right now. Dian trying to do what he can, but that big shield coming from Rusty stops a lot of damage. Scott is on the scene. He's looking for a way to get to Akira, but again, positioning just too strong from the big man.
And the stun coming through Ornn. I mean, I think Lee was a little bit too far away to initiate that trend. I don't think Dian has an E key either. I haven't seen him land or even use the Blade Caller once in these ganks. If you just press the button. Did
And
come away with the kill, but looks like with that early pressure down here from Scott, we're looking to take on this first Infernal Dragon. So we're getting a different rift from the last game, different soul too. I mean, not that we saw Infernal Soul, but again, I'm hoping for Ocean Rift. I love Ocean Rift.
I want to see Cloud. Cloud is my favorite. Yeah, just because I like this fast map. I like to run around. I'm a jungler, all right? So when I get to run around the jungle faster, it's better for me. What I also like...
You just play Skarner.
I do sometimes.
Permanent kill.
But the point I want to make, though,
Yeah.
back onto the Rift, however, was that, like, as UQ made that play, I really liked how QUT punished them for it.
Yeah.
You saw the two-man invade on the top side of the map. That was a case of, Hin Goodby, getting more buffs, stealing them away from the Lee Sin, really stopping that early pressure that Scott might be able to apply.
Yeah.
So, good reactive play from QUT. They're communicating well. It tells me they still have control of the map. They're still playing confidently. Ball's now back in UQ's court. What is the next play they're going to try and initiate? Well, it looks to be a buff steal of their own. You do have the Syndra to help with that, and yep, QUT too slow to react, so tit for tat, blow for blow. We have an actual game on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's a much safer, slower early game from both sides too. This Lee Sin, a little bit behind the Olaf in terms of tempo. I mean, well, in terms of CS and stuff, but both sides looking quite... Is Lee Sin going for T-Mat? It must be, yeah.
That would be very interesting if he does.
I haven't seen that in a long time. T-Mat's super inefficient if they nerfed it. Like, you pretty much can only build it on, like, what, Kled Jacks kind of stuff.
Apparently Lee Sin as well.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, Rengar, I think Kha'Zix... Oh, no, Kha'Zix is fine without it, but Rengar needs it.
It does kind of, like, open the idea of we might be seeing a split push Scott later as well, which would be very fascinating to see.
I don't know about that.
Well, you never know. Okay. I associate Tiamat with the split push. Fault me if I'm wrong, but I probably am, so fault me all you like. I also kind of like the idea of Scott kind of putting on that role as well, because like if he can draw more pressure his way, it could open up the map for the rest of the team. I do want to see Deanne get some carry performances out. He struggled a lot in game number 1. Maybe game number 2 he can bring back around. He's going to have to if something goes terrible with the jungle, as it's already kind of been a slow start for UQ.
Yeah. It's, quite a slow game. I mean, the Syndra's also faring a lot better in this mid lane. Last game wasn't going as well, but his top lane is... What is it?
Yeah.
Smacking each other.
Call of the Forge God coming out. I'm a bit surprised that he whiffed it completely. You've got to hit the button again, my friend, and now Scott's kind of left in no man's land as help has arrived from Hin Goodby.
He was silenced. He couldn't. Soraka silence stopped him in the second part of the Ornn ulti. Well, there we go. There's a hidden counter to Ornn ult too, so Soraka. Good matchup, apparently. Didn't know that. There you go.
It makes sense in theory, but sometimes you have to see it in practice before you go, oh yeah, that counter makes a lot of sense. So a great silence coming from Nightfaller. That said, though, taking a look at the CS differential, I don't think Clint minds that much.
No, I don't think... I mean, Soraka doesn't need gold, right? She just wants to build a Fiend. That's all Soraka wants to do in top lane. Wants to build a Fiend, build Redemption, so there's actually not much you can do. The only things that really work with Soraka are things like the Kled, Set is decent too. Anything that really is going to force her to build, or is going to... She's going to lose any optimization by going for that MR first, right? She's going to build a team, so 100% going to build MR. So a full AD team into Soraka actually hard to count as a champion, and also that execution spawning is much cheaper versus the more opportunity to complete on an AP champion.
I have been paying attention to the pings as well, so it looks like they do want to continue playing around that top side of the map, despite the fact that the items you listed have not been finished yet. Aggressive play coming from Clint at the moment. No backup for him, and he does need to be a bit careful because Hin Goodby would get there first. Rocket's out of mana, but Hin Goodby is at that Rift Herald. It would be very easy for him to roam down.
I mean, Rift Herald should be taken. Rift Herald is actually a surprisingly undervalued objective. I mean, I think Rift Herald is probably the most valuable early game objective. See, it is finally taken down.
Oh, engage attempt from Shard, not going to connect us. Back up top, it has been a case of Hin Goodby looking for that fight, and Clint has to flash over that wall. It's going to get some follow escape from the blasting pot, but something I've noticed, QUT, they have been valuing the Rift Herald, and UQ has just been completely ignoring it, it feels like.
I mean, I think both games, the Rift Herald take has been quite late. QT didn't take it for like 15 minutes in the game before. But if you take it on, usually you see, pro meta is you rotate in 8 minutes, you roll out the top side, you get all 4 members around there. You take down that Herald, drop it in the lane, get some power plays, and then go take it again at 16 minutes to finish off whatever tower you've started.
Yeah. I mean, and again, because of that top half focus, I'm curious if it's just a case of UQ doesn't value the Herald in the fashion that you're saying.
Yeah.
Or is it just a case of QUT playing around the top side of the map, where Nightfaller is, where that veteran is the first Make It Rain coming through. Sorry, that's bullet time, not Make It Rain.
Same.
I mean, you're making it rain. You're throwing stuff everywhere. I wanted coconuts, all right? I can't help it. I got coconuts for brains right now.
Coconut head, lol.
Yeah. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Yeah.
I see you.
There it is.
Okay.
Here I am standing in a row. I'm hitting the abandoned reference, but you know that song. You do not know that it's in Lion King.
Lion King was before my time. It was 1995. I wasn't even born yet.
Oh my gosh, I'm surrounded by Gen Xers as it looks like this dragon has been started for QUT. They know Lion King. That's how come they're getting this dragon. You can find the correlation. It's a flash forward play from Lysandra.
Flash self-ult.
Yeah.
Full health.
Oh no, that wasn't a flash actually. My apologies. The flash actually came from the Lysandra.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, sorry, the flash came from the Syndra.
Oh, Syndra. Oh, yeah.
I actually do have coconuts on the mind right now. I'm all over the place.
Mountain Rift. That's an alright. I don't mind it. Mountain Soul's pretty good too. Nice shielding. Oh, good stun.
Oh, big stun, follow-up damage coming through from the middle.
Nothing's happened mid lane all game. They've just been farming. But Syndra's got a 26 lead, so...
You say nothing's happened mid lane. Compared to the games I'm used to casting, i.e., you know, your flat to gold to iron games, you could argue that not much has really happened in this game altogether. It's been very low action, very low scoring.
LCK.
Yeah, very LCK. I like that. It's been very LCK. Priority more on rotations, on objectives, on a small gold lead actually in favor of UQ, who also get the first tower.
Do they?
Again, I have the script.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
I have the script. I just read ahead. My apologies. UQ.
Sorry, I forgot you had the script right there.
Yeah.
Oh, so QUT get first blood, right? Okay.
Alright.
Yeah.
Saying Soraka's going to solo kill Ornn. Right, that's an interesting. Okay, right. Fair enough. Rift Herald being summoned.
Yeah, Rift Herald has been summoned. Actually, yeah, with Rift Herald being summoned, it's more odds for QUT to be getting that first tower, and it's something that they need
the
to...
script says UQ. The script can't be wrong, man.
The script says 2-0 QUT, okay, so...
That's all we need to worry about.
That's the important thing.
I mean, with this comp, it's going to be interesting to see how they execute on team fights, right? Lysandra we haven't seen in a long time. Still a very powerful mage.
Yeah, is very powerful. And I'm actually surprised we haven't seen more jungle presence in that mid lane.
I mean, especially with the Syndra Lee Sin, that's a very potent lane, right? You land that stun. I mean, Liss is also quite safe, right? So you can get out, but even Liss rooting up the Olaf damage in the Syndra, does have the cleanse on the Syndra though, so it's quite hard to gank. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of action anywhere, really. It's been very, just farming lanes. Stuff has tried to happen in the bot lane a little bit. Triple Dorians here from MS2, so trying to really win that laning phase, but, you know, it's kind of even with Dian at the moment. So a better game out of UQ. We haven't seen that 10-minute explosion we did in the last game.
It's a more patient game out of UQ, and I think that's actually best exemplified with what's happening in the mid lane. A middle had to use flash earlier, and it's just not even come remotely close to leaving the tower. He's just sitting back, farming, playing it safe. No one's leaving themselves in position to get jumped on. Unfortunately, I feel like for each of these junglers, well, it's kind of been intimidating for what they wanted to do. Making it rain, though, right now. Dian's in a bit of trouble. Has to burn the Featherstorm. Ragnarok stops and suppressed, but Scott is here. Finally, action breaking out as in comes flying his Shard, and he helps secure first blood for UQ. Call the Ornhorn because the rest of UQ is here. A double kill for UQ as that is one pot man leading the charge. He's in the face of Eden trying to slow him down, but help is arriving for UQ to secure it. The third kill is secured, this time by a middle.
And UQ coming through 3 kills swiftly on the side. The team fight comp paying off for them. QT almost had some stuff back, but the rest of the team rotating faster. Soraka up in top side. Unfortunately didn't have Wish available there, so couldn't come in from the map. Ornn burning that earlier, so good advantage there from UQ, and they do take that first blood tower.
Last year, we also predicted 2-0 QUT. We got 3 games. This year, predicted 2-0 QUT, and it's UQ who has that early lead in game 2. They have a 4K lead. They're pushing for that game 3.
And hopefully we do get a game 2 today. Much more exciting for all the spectators here. Hopefully we don't have to go home early. We can stay here casting these fantastic games, but QUT, I mean, instantly falling behind the Lysandra pick as well. Not doing as much in the team fight as that Syndra, obviously picking up first blood onto her, and the pauses come through once again. Want to see exactly what the issue is this time.
Yeah, as we have hit our second pause, it sometimes happens, and I'm worried it's a little bit of a visual bug or lag or something. I'm just judging this based on what the players are doing. They're pointing, they're looking a little bit disappointed. So hopefully this is something that can be resolved quite quickly, especially considering that hot start that UQ has actually finally gotten for themselves.
Yeah, 3-0 straight off the bat. It's a good, nice lead. And we'll have to see how they transition in these team fights effectively. UQ, of course, down 1-0 in this series, so they're playing with their backs against the wall. QT having a little bit more fun, rocking in that Soraka top, wanting to muck around a little bit, and you have to see exactly how they go when they jump back into this game. But both sides looking quite good in this game. I mean, obviously quite a safe early game. First, that big team fight there in that bot lane party. I mean, these teams obviously love fighting around that bottom lane. Obviously, no bullet time from MF got taken down before she could pull it off in that fight. So, I mean, you do say when you've been casting, MF's never won a game.
Yeah, I mean, no, they have won games. It's just like a couple. There's just a streak of 4 in a row, and that's what I mean. You have to earn your MF pass, and that's what QUT is trying to do right now.
How are they going so far?
Doesn't look very good after that first team fight, does it?
You're not a fan of not giving Akira the MF pass?
You have to win.
You have to win.
You have to win.
Even if you play terribly, you have to win.
Well, no, if you win and play terrible, you don't get the pass either.
Okay. But what if you play really good and lose?
You don't give awards to losers.
Okay, right. you were doing fun at soccer when you were younger.
What?
No, not a fan of participation awards then.
No. Participate. Look, okay.
What about orange? You give oranges out at halftime at sports games, no?
Oh yeah.
Even if they're losing.
It's halftime. You haven't lost yet.
We'll have to see. Jumping back into going to see that issue was resolved quite quickly on stage. See both teams moving around the jungle now. Team add-ons. I mean, even magical, even inspiration on these. Okay, interesting.
And do you want to break down why one would be going for inspiration? No?
I don't know. I just assume you go resolve.
Well, it's for the magical footwear.
I suppose.
I mean, magical footwear is just a good item, I feel, on junglers. It's nice as, like, it
another pause.
Doesn't disrupt your backing path at time if the boots come through.
Yeah.
You get to keep it on. You get that movement speed because boots are super important for jungling.
Plus 10 movement speed. That's like a, what, 200 gold? No, 110.
Uh-oh.
Oh. That's not good. Someone's alt F4. Someone's finished.
Oh, no.
Not happy. I mean, I would alt F4 if I was playing against Soraka too.
Yeah. I mean, no. I'm not gonna fall for that trap. I still believe in the banana goddess.
I said playing against it.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Oh, you believe in it?
Yeah. Oh, we've reconnected. All right, we all heard you. You can't pretend that you have to say pause forever now. We've heard you reconnected, so no excuses. I'm just claiming that. My word is law. I have a microphone.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I have a microphone.
I can't argue that logic.
I have a microphone and I have the script. It's right here. See, it is the script.
Is it little Nautilus?
Yeah, it's a not a pin.
Is that from the?
It's from the anniversary.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Hey, good fun.
I have the script in the moment. Okay, there's my MF pass. Where's that script? I have to remind everyone that the script, it's the QUT 2-0, taken from there. That's what it says.
Could be wrong though.
Yeah, I mean...
Put a big caveat there.
Oh no, I misread it. It actually says 2-1 because at the moment UQ is winning this game.
Well, now you can't change it back. You just made a brutal mistake. You should have done that in between the end of the game.
I never changed it to begin with. It's what was written in the script.
Okay. I believe you.
Yeah, you should. There's no evidence saying otherwise whatsoever. That's just where we're at right now.
Oh god. I mean, hopefully see what the issue is. I think it's going on with Clint up on the top side there for UQ. Playing the Ornn. I mean, he has missed all his Ornn horns this game, so could maybe be a reason why that's happening.
He made the one that counted.
Did he? I thought he still got silence. I think he didn't hit it back. It just came.
It hit people on the way through, though.
Doesn't knock him up though, does it?
It doesn't knock him up, no, but it does damage. It slows.
Fair enough.
It does connect. All right, we're getting back into game. Thank you. Thank you for saving us from yet another awkward pause. But what's more important is League of Legends coming at a critical time because it's the flash engage, but it does not connect. Might not matter. 4 autos will do the trick, and DN does not have the Feather Storm to get out, but he gets one in return.
And they have wrong flash too, so good there from DN, not burning any summoners. I mean, he didn't have any to burn, but...
Oh, we're not done yet. QUT is a bit on the run. Scott cannot connect with that Aura Sphere. Yes, that's a Pokemon reference, but it's irrelevant this time around.
Speaking, I've actually been playing Smash.
Oh, yeah?
And I've been maining Lucario.
Well, there you go. See, it's an Aura Sphere, right? The Lee Sin Q?
The Sonic...
Yeah, it's called the Sonic Wave, but it is an Aura Sphere. That's what he's doing.
I suppose. It looks the same color. Ticks the bill for me. Lucario is such a good Pokemon. He's dope. I get around Lucario.
The furry community agrees with you, as Mountain Drake has been started up by UQ. They have been prioritizing this dragon a lot more than QUT throughout this series, and it looks like they're going to be getting this one uncontested at this stage. Sweeper comes through a little bit too late from Rusty, and UQ gets another big objective.
Yeah, that dragon don't have obviously 2 more until they're on soul, or until they get the final dragon soul here from UQU. One up there, just building his items away. Already completed that Abyssal Mask, so he'll be quite strong. Once that Sunfire Cape gets on there on too, it's going to be quite difficult to take him down. He'll be surviving in every one of these fights, impossible to kill, by yada classic stuff when you're playing the big man up there. But I mean, I want to see more action from these teams. It's been a very slow, lullabying game.
It has been a slow-paced game, and yes, we've seen QUT try to instigate some plays, not really been the most successful. It was a great job by DN in order to turn that one around. I feel like QUT now, they're going to be playing a bit more reserved. They're going to be looking for that critical fight when they can get that big wombo out and just chaining the CC in within that bullet time, making sure everyone does go down. And it might be a while till we get to that stage because these towers are still standing, so we're not seeing the lane swap. Baron hasn't spawned yet. It could be like not till the 25-30 minute mark where QUT really pulls that trigger and starts to fight back.
Yeah, I mean, and we have to wait until exactly how it goes. I mean, they won a couple items on these carries, right? This Olaf is going to be this big train that's running through the middle of QUQ. Oh, here we go.
Here comes the play. The Featherstorm does avoid one ult, but it does not avoid the bullet time. It does a bit of damage, a lot of damage, in fact, as that is a kill secured, but it is a 2-killer. Double kill for Hin Goodby.
And then pass verified. That was a fantastic bullet time coming out of because I don't have the names on the screen, but Olaf, they're picking on that double kill. That's going to make him huge. Obviously, Grig over in the LCS had a huge carry on Olaf, but trading bot side for top side here. Ornn's pushing in quite heavily. Soraka smart for backing off the wave, knowing that Syndra and the Lee Sin could be rotating to win.
Look, if you want to talk MF pass, again, you have to win the game, but there is an Outlet Star on it for that play, so...
Okay.
Yeah, there's a bit of flair, definitely, as there was flair in that play. It was Hin Goodby who got the double kill. It was the Olaf popping that Ragnarok that really made it all come together, so... Not convinced just yet, and a late recall actually could be a bit disastrous right now. Nearly catching out Rusty was one charge, but...
If only that wasn't Akali, and he followed it up. That's what...
Yeah, some cross-map fun times.
Oh, yeah.
Still, though, 2 towers secured off of that play from QUT. I said that they were going to strike probably later in the game. Well, they made me eat my words. That was a quick strike back from QUT, and they're cutting down into UQ's gold lead.
Have you seen the Akali Quinn thing where Akali presses E and just chases the Quinn around infinitely?
Yeah.
Just put 3 Jetmans on the Quinn and just run around over and over again.
Didn't they do that in Earth, though? That'd be hard to recreate.
No, it wasn't in Earth. It was in... They were running around the base, and they had a Lulu, a Nami, and a zillion, so they would just speed buffing the Quinn. The Kali was just... And the tower shots were all... just chasing him around. That's what you do with Yi, too, when you're on instant cooldowns, when you just spam Highlander and you just run. Really good thing. See, Vision being sub there around the Rift. Baron now.
Yep.
Spawned, so on either side, we're going to take a second. Oh, no, you can use the Rift. Oh, my God.
It is Baron at this stage. UQ, in response to losing Baron Vision, have decided to group in that mid lane, try and put a bit more pressure, and then rotate that up top. Baron dancing are starting to begin right now. QT, after that play in the bot lane, should be feeling more confident. They have more room to play with down there. Soraka does have teleport, also has Wish, so split push Raka, yeah, that technically can be a thing, and unless UQ respond to it, well, they're going to respond to it in the mid lane. The Warhorn comes out, but Brom's shield held strong, and UQ, they can't find the entrance into the fight that they want. Watch that MF, watch for that bullet time, but more importantly, watch Rusty, because he is gone! A big scatter of the ring gets a second stun, it's a double kill for a middle, and UQ keeps pushing forward! Bullet time does get one on the crossplay, and Raka has joined the fight. The axe, the silence, the star call gets the kill, and QUT find 2 back.
His fight's not over yet. Ragnarok is not available for the Ornn, but they're still going to chase him down with these infinite.
Yeah, and that's actually Ornn stepping forward. Another big stun does force a flash out of Hin Goodby, but that's finally what's going to separate this fight.
That Syndra did bits in that fight too, obviously completing that Oblivion Orb, moving towards the Death Cap next to, has so much magic penetration, just obliterated Lissandra and of course the Braum too. I mean, Braum stood so long in that fight with that shield. Obviously shielding, I like the move there from Clint to actually save the Ornn until Braum Breakable can use. Because obviously if he Braum shields across their Ornn ultimate, that doesn't actually come through. So good usage from both sides, but I don't know who came ahead. I think QT overall won up in that trade. Another fantastic ball time from Akira. Maybe another starting to pass.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe, but I also want to highlight one Nightfaller in that team fight. I never thought I would be excitingly call Star Call to secure a kill, especially not like, 2-3 years ago, but here we are now, Soraka top lane, glory to the Banana God in that top lane, as well as Nightfaller did help break that one. A bit of a Baron fight right now. That's a lot of CC thrown down on to Rusty, but it's not enough to bring him down. UQ still proven. That's going to be a big ultimate, but it doesn't do that much damage, surprisingly. And all of a sudden, Lyssandra's on her own. Call on the Forge God in the entire team! And UQ does actually lose a member to Nightfaller. Somehow QUT got a kill when everyone was knocked up, and it's QUT pushing their advantage. Big play from Lysandra. She's trying to redirect, but Eden gets knocked up with troubles. However, Deanne cannot find the snare. QUT, they've started the dragon up yet again, daring UQ to step back towards it. UQ, they're looking for a way in, but those health bars aren't the healthiest. Redemption will heal up a lot of the QUT side. They've gotten the dragon. Can they escape? UQ doesn't appear to want any part of it.
Soraka is so busted, man. They're so broken. She just healed for like 2,000 damage. And that Ornhorn came through, she pressed wish and literally healed 2,500 damage.
Yeah,
That's nutty.
Rusty missed. The shield was there, but Rusty missed, and somehow QUT lands after getting thrown up in the air healthier than when they got launched.
Hey, just press R on Soraka. Simple. Oh, it's so disgusting.
And it's really unfortunate
got
because that team fight should have gone UQ's way. Like, they had the position, they layered their CC, they had everything going the way they wanted to, but the power of Nightfaller on this Raka, that wish, I mean, it was a wish and a prayer, and it saved QUT.
I'm really worried though for QT when this Olaf, for UQ, when Olaf completes the Spirit Visage, he's going to be actually unkillable. He's going to have the MR to deal with the Syndra damage, which is the main damage. He'll have Death Cap now completed with Syndra, pumping out a heap of damage. Once he gets that item completed, he starts with his armor. He's going to be taking no damage at all and getting healed ridiculous amounts from Soraka. That wish is going to heal 1.2k on him, which is a stupid amount of healing to have.
Yeah, and hopefully he can get to that healing sooner than later, because at the moment...
Spectral Cow's already
Spectral Cow's been finished, and like he needs that because at the moment though, UQ, they've still been getting a lot of these objectives. Yes, the dragon count is 2-2, but it's UQ who's invading and stealing away buffs. It's UQ who's putting pressure on the towers, minus what happened in the bot lane before. And I feel QUT, they kind of need that front line from the Olaf, that health regen.
Yeah.
To have the confidence to really pursue a lot of these 5v5s. Yes, we did see him win that last one, and I think that should help their mental and really be telling them, okay, we can win these fights now. But with that Spirit Visage completed, they might be feeling like indestructible.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is you've got to consider too is UQ are up 4k gold, but it's almost another 4k on top of that because of these one items that have been completed. So that leads on like an 8,000 gold lead, which is quite insurmountable here for QUT. I mean, obviously it depends how much gold they're walking around with, but it is quite a large lead here for UQU, and QT, they have been winning these fights, but only just because of this humongous lead UQU has built for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very significant lead. 4K. Yeah, it might not seem like much, to us low elo players, but at this level of competition, 1K really is like 5K in bronze currency. So definitely a very, very large lead. I mean, it's essentially an item and a half at this stage in favor of UQ. So they can make that work for them, but I don't know, these last few team fights, it hasn't really been working out, and a lot of that has to do with the Raka. It was Nightfaller's flank, which turned around that 2 fights ago. In the last fight, that critical wish did save the team. Somehow, UQ is going to have to find Nightfaller on his own, isolate him, and take him out if they want to win these fights.
I mean, Ornn is about to complete his Gargoyle's Gunplate. It'll be quite tanky, obviously. Once the anti-healing comes down, the Grievous Wounds is completed on a couple of these carries, Soraka's not going to be as effective. But they haven't been completed just yet. Obviously, the Execution's Calling is on the Xayah, but Morello's still not completed for Syndra. I think that's a really essential item that needs to complete next. Because she's getting a lot of AoE down with these spears and with Luden's procs too. So reducing that healing is going to be quite essential, but I have to see this next fight erupt. I'm assuming it's going to be erupt around the Baron in the next minute or two, or 3 or 4 minutes. Everyone's obviously just setting up their waves right now, trying to get in perfect position to try and push down these guys, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, it's a bit more in favor of UQ because they have that bot lane pressure. It does mean Nightfaller has to rotate down. Does have teleport available, but it is a small window. It's one UQ tries to actually take. The knockup does not connect from the Shard, however, so that should lead to a disengage for now.
They have to just relax. No cooldown on this burn, I think. No big cooldowns at least, or maybe the Ragnarok burn there, which is pretty significant. This means UQ can start moving into this Baron and start forcing UQ to come. They're expecting to start it up straight away.
Yeah, that they are. I mean, you still have that bot lane pressuring for UQ as well, so that they can also look to delay it, or they get a critical stun. Interesting jump from Rusty. Comes too little too late, but his shield is still available. Making it rain does force out a bit of a lunge out of Clint, and in the end, UQ is actually going to back away.
Yeah, well, that means QUT now have mid prior, so they're going to move up and try to take this tower. Their wave did also push back into topside, forcing Sinju to rotate up there. So QUT looking to take down this mid lane tower because UQ's got no priority, and that's one of the dangers of going for that Baron. If you aren't actually strong enough to force a fight, you will lose this mid priority and lose the here.
Very pushed forward was QUT right there. In the end, though, UQ doesn't want to pull the trigger this time. They did not have a middle nearby. That could have been an opening. You have Dragon about to spawn right now, and this is an interesting one because it will lead to like point Dragon as well as that third one. It will open up a lot of Dragon defense from one side. Ragnarok's been used, and it looks as if, you know, Goodby was trying to get to that backline, but the Featherstorm does enough to keep the end alive. Oh wow, that is the bullet time I was looking for. It secures the kill onto Shard as the rest of QUT does keep pushing forward. Nowhere for Clint to go. A double kill for him, Goodby, and QUT, well, they lose one on the backside actually. A late flank does find one for UQ, but QUT, they're looking, they want to find a middle because they want revenge.
I mean, QUT looking so good in these fights, but I just still, that Lissandra pick is so questionable. They pick anything else, and I think it'll be so much, like a Karma mid here would have been so much better. Lissa's pretty much done nothing all game, right? But they will transition into a Dragon, which means QUT will now be on sole point, so UQ are really going to have to fight around this Mountain Dragon. With 2 Mountain Dragons completed, those MR is going to be so much higher, so they're going to withstand this Syndra a little bit more. And hopefully, punch through this game. Olaf should be close to completing his next item too, so I think these next 2 team fights are really going to decide the game, and it's honestly looking QUT favor.
Yeah, which is unusual again, because when you're looking at the gold, when you're looking at the objective...
I mean, they have got their carries available, but if they get caught here, it could be very dangerous.
Yeah, this is a risky Baron play, but it might actually pay off. That said, QUT should know what's happening right now. I mean, the vision has been denied. You can see them rotating around it. Baron's getting quite low. It's going to be a bit of a steal attempt, but it's not going to come through. So UQ secures a major objective to keep the momentum on their side.
Very smart rotation out of UQ there, knowing that QT is going to be resetting after taking that Dragon. They will secure it for themselves. I have to see how much they can actually get off it, right? And hopefully transition that into another Dragon take. Obviously, Dragon will be up after the buff wears off, but they can look to push up, maybe clean up these outer towers. And probably not going to break the base with this Baron unless they get a big team fight, but interesting to see exactly how they go. They should be able to set up around this next Dragon, though, and secure it for themselves and deny soul point from QT.
Yeah, that is what they should be hoping to do. On the opposite side, QUT, they're going to try and wave clear, going to try and sit back and look for an opening. Hopefully not get caught out, as Rusty takes a good chunk of damage at the moment. Shield is there to help keep him safe as minions continue to push down the middle. Yeah, I mean, we still have, a solid 4 minutes until this Dragon Soul fight, which is inevitably going to happen, really becomes that key focal point.
Yeah.
And for UQ at this stage, just keep the pressure on. You've got 4 minutes to play with right now. Do what you can, keep QUT on that back foot, and make sure that that inevitable Dragon fight is as in your favor as it can be.
Very slow rotation from QUT down to the bot side. It looks like UQ should be able to break the base, which is quite poor on the side of QUT. They should have been looking for
Oh, but did they stay too long? The Ornhorn has been called, but he was silenced. It's not going to do too much on the backside. DN is on the run. The bullet time doing what it can. However, Scott, who finds the initial shutdown, no good beat double in this one as he's taken out the fight. The re-engage from Scott. He's looking for it. He goes in, but gets blown up for his troubles. The bloodlust was too strong. A kill return from Akira, but QUT is on the defense as UQ keeps pushing on. The inhibitor is in their sights. The super minions there as well. QUT, they might look for that re-engage. Rocket's trying to hit the silence, but they cannot save the inhibitor.
Dion is so low too. They have to go back, but inhibitor broken off this Baron. A bot side one too, so obviously not as good as the top side inhibitor, but for the next Baron, that's still going to be down. So dangerous, moves here from QUT. They're going to be forcing that base, clearing out those minions, and honestly, I'm surprised UQ even got that off this Baron, right? There was this poor rotation from both sides, from the QUT side, and UQ picking up a really strong objective, and they've just set themselves up further and further ahead of this game.
Yeah, I mean, it was near perfect for UQ until Scott decided to go full Rambo and try to, got a little bit greedy.
Yeah.
He went in. He thought he had enough damage to take Akira out of the fight. Unfortunately, he was a bit short, a bit heel baited. In fact, as that kind of is what helped Akira alive. However, if you're UQ, you're super happy with that. You got that inhibitor. That's going to be the pressure that you need to help ensure that, hey, if they want that dragon, they're going to have to force an unfavorable fight. This is what we want. So either we will get that third dragon, or we might get that team fight that we can use to end this game.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with that inhibitor down, it's a large threat. Xayah takes these towers down so quickly with the Rakan W2, so I have to see exactly what happens up here. But the Bloodthirster is now completed on the MF, so she's going to be putting a lot more damage through these bullet times and healing a lot more up too, so it'll be a lot harder to take her down. But I have to see Morello's also completed on the Syndra, so this Soraka ult's not going to be doing as much. Spirit Visage is completed, which is another large completion. Giant Spell 2 completed, so maybe on through
Yeah, I'm curious to see where that Giant Spell will
maybe
go.
Dead Man's play.
Could be. I would not know,
Dead Man's
unfortunately.
makes
I think Dead Man's does make the most sense, so I'm kind of with you on that one. As, again, pace slowing down, at least for the time being. We still have 1 minute until that critical Mountain Drake will spawn. Inhibitor will still be down at that time. So, again, UQ, they're kind of playing around the map. They've got some pressure up top. They've got some pressure down below thanks to the lack of Inhibitor on QUT's side. QUT, to their credit, still, they've been behind in gold for a majority of this game. They're still ahead in kills. They're still winning a lot of these fights. It doesn't feel like they're sitting at a 6K gold deficit.
Well, it's more than that. It's more like an 8K gold deficit, right? Or maybe more than a 10K gold deficit because of these
Yeah.
But
It doesn't feel like that.
No, it doesn't. The QT comp is just so much stronger. The Soraka is just so strong in these team fights. When that Fiend is fully stacked up, this MF is pumping in a lot of damage, and Olaf is nigh unkillable too. So it is really difficult for QT to... I mean, even though UQ have got such a great team fight and everything works so well together, the danger is if this Syndra ever gets taken down in a fight, I feel like they're just completely lost. She's the only one doing damage to the side of UQ, and really their only hope in these fights.
Yeah, I think that is a lot of pressure to put on a middle's back, but because of that inhibitor, it was an uncontested dragon. QUT didn't want to try and force anything, and that does mean in 5 minutes' time, one of these teams are most likely going to get a Dragon Soul.
I mean, you'd hope so. You would sit there for the rest of the game and no one gets it.
I mean, no one wants to see that.
Surely you just let it sit there.
What's more likely than a dragon sitting there till the end of time is one of these teams finding a way to end this game, and that's something that UQU does want to do. Baron will be up in a minute, and I imagine QUT, that's not an objective they're just going to let go to waste.
No, I highly doubt it, but the problem is with this bot side inhibitor being down for still another minute 30, they're still going to have to wait around, and this Baron is going to spawn before QT have time to set up. UQ obviously going to clear this jungle out, get a reset, move straight towards that Baron. They've got complete vision control, so QT going to come in blind here. You see Rossi moving and then to get some vision back and hopefully do something for QT, but UQ are in prime position for this Baron.
Yeah, unfortunately, QUT, I don't think they pushed fast enough to really catch UQ on that rotation, so it's going to be risky the moment they step towards that river. Hidden Goodby is sort of looking for a way in, perhaps. Does have a bit of backup in the sign of Akira, but I don't know. Everything in that fog of war is just danger right now for QUT. They have to be careful. They cannot afford to get picked right now. That could be the game if it does happen. Teleport is available once more for Nightfaller, so he'll most likely sit, try and deal with those super minions. UQ, at some stage, they're going to pull the trigger. They're going to start this Baron, and it's all about how QUT reacts.
Yeah, exactly. It's just going to be waiting around. This inhibitor should be up quite soon. So.
Oh, that is aggressive positioning right there coming out of Hidden Goodby. Scott does enough to chase him away. Good patience, no Ragnarok burn, but that actually might be Rusty who gets caught out. Here comes the bullet time! And it actually shreds the front line of UQ. In the back line, Ragnarok is trying to chase down one shard, but in the end, it's actually Eden who steps forward and secures it. However, UQ is bringing this fight back. Here comes Scott. Here comes Lysandra. They're doing so much work as this Fortune is still alive in that mid lane, forcing out the Syndra. How does Rocka survive? Nightfaller is so annoying, but he gets the job done. And in the end, it is a 2 for 2.
It's that Syndra. That Syndra is just staying alive, doing so much in that fight. That was all QUTs to win.
UQ starting Baron.
No, surely not. I mean, I suppose they don't.
Yeah,
they're not going to contest it, but I don't think Scott can kill it by himself.
They took out Hidden Goodby. Do they have the damage, though? I mean, Scott seems tanky enough. You have a bit
of... They got Horn there, right? But...
I don't know. This is such a risky take, and they might have been caught out. They might get punished. Scott jumping back. That's a teleport in. Clint is back, and he catches out Nightfaller. The hunt UQ looks to push forward. MF returning the favor though. That is Akira trying to find one on the back end. Got taken low, has to retreat. A good slow from Eden, and perhaps a re-engage. No, it's a flank. Eden's in trouble, but Eden stays alive for now. Has to burn ult the Frozen Tomb on himself. The Ord Horn is called. It's not needed, and that is a very scared QUT running for the hills.
This Lysandra pick is just so great. Done nothing all game. Just got one kill. QUT would have won this game. I mean, they could still win, right? It's still very close, but I feel like QUT would be in a much better position if they pick something other than Lysandra.
Yeah, but as a result of all of that action, UQ finally gets that Baron. And a minute 30 from now, that big Dragon Soul will spawn. UQ in prime position to take us to a game 3.
And that inhib did go back down 2 to minions, so they're still waiting on that inhibitor to respawn for another 4 minutes or so. So QT going to be at that objective, which means UQ are in prime position to take this soul. And if they grab the soul, it's going to be almost impossible for QT to beat them.
Yeah,
they just can't. They just need to kill the Syndra. Lysandra just has no backline access, and Olaf is getting blown up way too quickly.
Now
they kind of need Soul to survive.
Now I know you want to be looking at this Lysandra pick, questioning it. The performance from
Real
Eden not really matching, the performance we saw in the game previous. However, I'm still holding my, MF pass right here. I'm still wondering, can MF actually win games? That's just where I'm at as UQ continues to push through in the middle. They're looking for anyone to step out of line. In the past, it's actually been Rusty who's been getting caught out the most, as you would expect from a frontliner like Braun. Not really going to happen this time. Pin Goodby looking for an entrance, and they might actually see it, actually. A lot of the abilities kind of thrown. They're going for Clint, but the rest of UQ, they're waiting in the bush behind. It's a bit of a trap at the moment, but no one is really committed to pulling it.
Yeah, they need to bait this Syndra. Syndra needs to die. They need to kill Syndra if they want to have any chance of winning any of these fights.
Yeah, Syndra has to go down.
Too, so you can't even lock it down with Syndra.
We're still seeing a lot of damage from those axes coming out of Pin Goodby at the moment.
Look at the base though for QT.
Oh! Yeah, that's actually very important to bring up right now. Super Minions are starting to hit Nexus towers. Yeah, Minions could be a thing. The Dragon Soul has been secured as well just off screen, and UQ does a great job in delaying this game. The pings are coming down. UQ, they want to push. They want to end. They
still got Baron for another 2 waves too.
Yeah.
I think this is a game.
I mean, QUT, they have to pull the trigger. They need to find something in this situation. Axes come down, but it doesn't do enough damage to save this inhibitor, which will be the second one to go. UQ, they're backing away. They're not going to push this advantage for now.
Yeah, I mean, and once he's inhibitor, they're going to rotate up to top side and continue to push down with this Baron buff. Does pull another 40 seconds or so, so don't have too much longer left, and maybe they could break this base. If they get all 3 hits, I gotta say, that's kind of it. QT just can't fight back.
Yeah, exactly that. I thought last game was a bit of a slow, methodical push, but UQ's taking it to another level as yet another siege underway. They still have that last Baron wave at the moment. The cannon doing work on that tower. No one from QUT can really step forward. Keep your eyes on this Ornn. I feel like Clint might be the initiator. He does jump forward, gets a knockup onto him. Goodby, and here comes QUT. They pulled the trigger. The Ornn Horn has been blown, but it's stopped immediately by Rusty. The Olaf is doing so much front lining, but it's a big double up from Nightfaller. On the backland, that is Syndra picking up the kills. A middle doing what he can. UQ keeps pushing forward. They blitz the front line. They're in the backline, but the bullet time brings QUT back. Everyone's resetting for now. Misfortune looking for another way in. Down below, Rock of the Banana God did drop Wish, did help keep people alive, and it's a 2-for-1, but UQ, they still want more.
This MF just isn't dying. The middle is playing so well on this pick.
Yeah,
and there we go, that 13 inhib goes down, and that's pretty much all she wrote for QT.
It is not looking good for the Tigers right now, but they still have their damage, and they still have their Rocka, and they're going to fight for it. And that is a lot of damage coming from this Rocka, actually blitzing the front line, but on the backside, Scott goes in deep and takes down Nightfaller. Meanwhile, you still have to deal with Akira, who finds one on the backside. Here comes UQ, though. They push forward. They get the ace. We are going to game number 3.
Great time there from UQ, and the script is correct for 2-1. Maybe QT zooming in right there on those final minutes. The Nexus does explode. A very long game for game 2, 42 minutes in total, but UQ taking down QUT and surviving once again like last year.
Yeah, it was slow, it was methodical, but most importantly, it was safe. We weren't seeing those silly mistakes out of UQ that we saw in game number 1. They were picking the fights that they felt most confident in, even after things started to go a little bit pear-shaped for them. When QUT looked to be fighting back, UQ, they were like, okay, let's just play even safer then. Let's just be even more conservative with our team fights, and that's what paid off.
I mean, Lysandra pick. They picked something else. It's just like a Karma would have been so good there.
I like Lysandra.
It did nothing.
Oh yeah, also there's something very important right now that we need to take care of.
Oh, the MF pass.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I mean, because Akira played well, all right? You know, those bullet times were actually on point. They were shredding the back line, but MF passes, they only go to winners. So this MF pass right here, yeah, Mr. Akira?
Go. Oh, that hurts. Played so well, too.
You can earn another one, though, next game.
Maybe. They pick MF again.
Yeah, but no, MF passes, they're hard to earn, all right?
Yeah,
And even when you play well, you got to win. That's just the rule.
You have to get the dub. That's the rule.
You just got to get the dub. It's all about the dubs. The big dubs.
We will be back shortly with our final game, obviously, of this best of 3 between UQ and QT. Stick around. We should be back in about 5 minutes for that game starting up soon. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back for the final game of this Grudge match.
Founded in 1996, MSY Technology is one of Australia's leading computer retailers with 28 stores across New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia, Tasmania, Victoria, Western Australia and the ACT. With 22 years of experience and partnering only with the top IT vendors to ensure a supply of quality and reliable products, MSY is best known to offer competitive prices on a wide selection of computer components, latest gaming gadgets, notebooks and accessories to suit every need and budget. Please visit your nearest store to check out MSY's own line of MSpec premium PCs designed from the ground up for extreme gaming performance, or DIY your own customized PC at selected stores.
everybody, welcome back here to Get Your Geek On. As the people behind us, they've gotten it on and they are rolling with it. I am one formal casting, aka Maximilian Thor von Neumann, joined by Mitchell Replay Anderson, and after 2 games, once again, just like last year, we're going to game number 3.
And that means it's time for Yasuo blind picked. Yasuo picked into Malphite Ramos for UQU and a 22-minute stomp.
Yeah, well, no.
No, you don't think so?
Bold prediction here, but with my script, I'm just going to pull this one out and see what's it. It just says you're going to be gold 4.
Oh,
No,
that's
sorry.
I'm happy with gold 4.
All right, well, fair enough, but no. The real script actually does say, I'm just going to read it right here. It's, oh, wait, no, that's game since MF1. Yeah, no MF pass. No, I have no idea what the script's going to be. That's all.
You don't know. You're not pulling the script out back again?
No, there's nothing else in here. It's blank. It means we're going to have to write it right now. It's empty.
Oh, well, we'll have to see exactly what these teams do as we jumping onto the Rift very shortly. Previous game was won by UQ. A very long 40-minute game. But at the end of the day, coming through, getting there in the end. I mean, I think there was a very interesting game between the two sides. The mid laner for UQ popped off. That Syndra there in the middle.
Yeah, a middle
so
had a
well.
fantastic game number 2, really countering what we saw in game number 1 from Eden.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's almost been the story of this series so far, where it's like you have Eden, game number 1, mid lane just rolls over the top. Middle, game number 2, finds a big fight, then rolls over the top. I don't want to use the phrasing mid lane difference, but that's kind of where a lot of these have gone.
Yeah, for sure.
So at this stage, when each of them have had this pop-off performance, what I want to see, actually, and maybe this is my jungle bias showing, but more jungle influence on this mid lane, more pressure put from each of these guys to try and accelerate them.
There's been no... I mean, the first game, there was a lot of jungle focus around the mid lane, but the second game was just pretty much a farm fest until later game. Both sides wanted to team fight too, so it makes sense why they just farmed it out and waited for them. I did like, UQ's keep it simple draft. QT is a little bit interesting strategy. Again, that Lissandra could have been a Fizz, could have been a Karma, would have been so much fun. I want to see a Fizz. Fizz is so strong.
You really
it
just
counters all these because it just counters them so hard.
I have
And it's such a big team fight present with the Shark.
Believe it or not, there are some champions in this game I do not like.
Oh, I hate playing against it. I cannot stand the champion, but he's so strong.
Fizz is on that list, as you correctly guessed. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I have to see it to believe it. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
And I can be proven wrong. I'm not ashamed to admit, oh yes, that champion was absolutely the correct one to play. In that last game, I defended the Lissandra pick. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, so I was wrong in that instance. But I just feel like when you look at this mid lane, Fizz can be that strong assassin, but I prefer things like the LeBlanc. Yeah,
LB's good too. I don't know. LB into Syndra is a fine matchup.
I would
up as well.
This one hurts me, but I prefer things like the Talon as well.
Oh, Talon's busted now too.
Exactly.
He's so much gold.
Exactly. So I feel there are other options, I suppose, other than the Fizz, based purely on my hatred for Seafood and the champion and the troll pull, and every single time where he's anywhere he just annoys. He's annoying. Fizz is annoying.
He's very annoying, right? But very overpowered too. We should be jumping into champion select just in a second here, waiting to our final game between UQ.
You do the math. You know what's at the stakes for this one. It is winner take all in this grudge matches. One more trip to the Rift will determine who will be the superior university when it comes to League of Legends.
I mean, there's also Griffith, right? But let's not talk about that.
Griffith. That's like super tape, right? No, I joke. I joke. I know a lot of good people who went through and have gone to Griffith. It is a great university, but it does not have that heated, historic rivalry that UQ and QUT have. Now, it will be UQ on the red side, QUT on the blue side, and some familiar bands already. No Elise, no Zoe, and most importantly, no Senna.
And it seems like blue side is the OP side too. Blue side's won every single game, so obviously having that first pick is better than having that last counter pick. I mean, when you don't use it, pick Lissandra, pretty useless, to be honest. But I have to see exactly what they get into. Same bands as normal, or the last 3 games. Hasn't changed much. Maybe the Ornn could join the ban list this time, more Soraka from the other side, but I have to see exactly what will come through. What they'll leave up, what they'll let the other team have.
I imagine we're definitely going to be seeing that Ornn banned away, and I'm hoping he gets banned soon. Unlucky Oos. I love it. See, again, we're having fun here. That's what all of this is about, as I'm a little worried that Scott's not on his computer right now. I'm hoping we don't have a remake of our picks and bans, as we're still waiting for that third one to come through. He's there. There's just some chatter happening. As
Never
Zet
pick a
is going to be the
fight
last
you
man.
can't
So
win.
we have Ornn available. We have the Soraka available. We have MF still available. A lot of power picks still there. Lee Sin still there.
I mean, they did obviously chose to run the Braum ban is a very clear ode to picking Ornn. I think they should have banned the Ornn and left the setup because I think there's better options into the set than there is into Ornn. Ornn is just such a powerful pick. It doesn't mean we're going to be sitting here for a while, though, because Ornn does incite a slower type game. Obviously, depends what else QT decide to round their comp out with, even though you go for a interesting, spicy Ornn Yasuo bot lane. I'd like to see that. That would be fun.
I believe
Ornn alley.
I believe I have mistook technical difficulties as just coaching. That's all that's happening
Ooh,
is
MF
coaching.
for red side.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
on the MF.
MF on the red side, so that will be Deanne's turn. All right, so we had to take away the MF pass from Akira. Maybe Deanne can earn it for himself.
Yeah, look, I don't know about that one. I think there's not even one throwing it up. I don't think the MF pass is going to get used at all if it's DM piling this pick.
But, I mean, a lot of the times, as we were talking, it's reliant on the support, and for that means, a lot of pressure will be put on Shard, who will be going for the Morgana.
Blind.
I'm hearing people say, ew, behind me. I'm seeing you facepalm right now. What is wrong with this pick?
It's just you need to pick it into something. You can't just blind it because you just pick other stronger supports.
All right, so QUT's old jungler, Hi and Goodbye, was a Shaco main, and I think that was a little bit of a tribute to Hi and Goodbye, but we're not going to be seeing that Shaco locked in. Instead, we're seeing the more conventional Jarvan.
Yeah, very simple comp coming out with the Ornn Jarvan. I mean, it'd be interesting to see exactly what they run their comp out. The Syndra are going to be taken away from Mittel. Eden going to be picking that on maybe this time. I mean, I don't mind it.
I mean,
Fizz is a great pick into Syndra.
Syndra was...
Fizz hard counter Syndra.
You're not getting your fizz.
I'm not.
You
Echo
can-
maybe. Echo could be good here. Echo counters a Syndra. LB.
LB.
Many options here.
I think
Alan.
Echo is kind of what would be the more conventional pick in this situation right now.
I mean, Echo's only good because you force her to play side, right? And you can't really play side with well, no, they locked it in anyway. It's right.
Yep, so there it is. The Echo will be locked in, and that's 1 point for me. I'm going to write that down, and I think you've gotten, 4 correct? So it's plus 4 for me for good looks, and I'm ahead 5-4.
That's unlucky, chief. Let's see what these final bans are running out. No jungle. I mean, unless Echo jungle, right?
Fine.
That could be
Over
spicy.
here.
Spicy. I doubt it.
Sharpening my
Zaya
feathers.
taken away, so obviously not letting him have Zaya Rakan as the last 2 picks.
Interesting.
No
I
bot lane
won't be
priority.
denied.
Interesting that they ban away the Zaya and not the Rakan in this situation. You think they ban both? Yeah, because
If you ban one, you can't pick either because they kind of rely on each other to be successful.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You ban one. I almost would have gone
Hey,
for the
you-
Rakan ban.
Doesn't matter. You can't pick. You can't play Zaya without Rakan. You can't play Rakan without Zaya.
I think
I mean,
you
maybe
can
you
play
can. You
Rakan.
may maybe Rakan. Oh, not until Morgana. You can't. No.
I get it.
Well, you can't play Yumi without Ezreal, apparently, so that's another way
There
to
you
get
go.
rid of that one as well.
But
That
Yumi was Sivir though.
480 carry bans being targeted at Akira coming out of UQ.
Yeah. Well, yeah. 480 carry bans. I'll see what the final one is that comes through, but I mean, surely Aurelion stole jungle. Surely.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Lock it in. You won't. You won't lock it
A
in.
bit of friendly banter right there, but no, the Aurelion Soul will not be locked in. You already have your unless it's an Echo jungle, but
Vayne.
Vayne!
Ornn. Yeah, right.
Ooh.
Okay. I mean, it does count Ornn, but you want to just doesn't fall. Oh, Ashe TK. Here we go. Ashe TK. Or Varus TK would be a good lane too.
I think we're going to be seeing the Ashe TK.
Rumble
Whoa,
support, baby.
Or is it an orange support?
More likely to be Rumble support, but I have to see.
All right,
I mean, maybe yes, you're countering the Vayne, right? But
Yeah.
I suppose.
A bit of a throwback
Yasuo
as
into
well
Syndra?
to last year with that Yasuo being hovered. I don't predict that Yasuo being locked in. I want to go back to the QUT tide real quick as Olaf more conventional. Okay, Scott on Olaf, good combo.
Vayne top though.
Explain to me Rumble support.
I don't know. Lens plays it, bro. That's as far as my law. I mean, LCK like Rumble support, but it's generally not a good support pick. I mean, it offers a lot of damage, right? But it's usually more used when you pick a Rumble earlier in the draft and you get a favorable matchup in both your winning lanes. So it relies on you to hard win top mid. Obviously, they could still swap it with the Ornn. Ornn is still a viable support too. But you just get so much poke out of the Flame Spitter and wave control, especially with into the MF Morgana, where that wave is actually going to be contested quite heavily. Doesn't mean your comp lane's quite into heavy AP, but Ashe, not obviously being the strongest damage carry, so it means itemization is going to be more favorable here for UQ. But I think the biggest interesting pick here from UQ is that Vayne up on the top side, right? It does counter the Ornn in lane, but the problem with Ornn is, never been a lack of counters for Ornn in lane. He's just so used to with those items later into the game, and just has so much more teamfight impact than a Vayne would. So, depends how well it's going to be executed. If Vayne can get ahead in lane, could be into an interesting game here. A lot of damage on the side of UQ, but if it's not maintained correctly and these teamfights are run over by QUT, it's going to be a very swift victory.
Yeah, I mean, but we don't want to see a swift victory,
No,
all right? This is
long-
game number 3. This is literally for the... it's bragging rights for the entire year, especially considering the rivalry between these two unis, okay? Get Your Geek On 2019, QUT won that one 2-1. But then, at the OCS, UQ did beat QUT in their one match against each other, which, by my math, makes the score 2 apiece. This is not only the rubber match for today, but this is the rubber match for all of last year as well. This is going to determine the hypest, best school at League of Legends. So much on the line as we are on the Rift for game number 3 here at Get Your Geek On.
Yeah, both these teams coming onto the Rift. 5-man invade here from UQ trying to start someone out twice and maybe catch the Rumble.
Yeah, they might catch Rumble at the moment. He's shooting those rockets, but the Dark Binding hits, and there is nowhere for Nightfaller to go. Sorry, nowhere for Rusty to go, and first blood already for UQ.
Report Morgana from taking it though. What's that? What a terrible support.
The man single-handedly gets first blood for UQ, and you're like, no, he deserved it.
Take the gold. What do you take it? Give it to the Vayne. The Vayne needs it. You started with Cull.
Max range Dark Binding deserves. I just noticed the Cole pickup, but no, max range Dark Binding deserves the kill. I am the advocate for supports everywhere right now. Let us get that first, but look at that. I can get, well, actually, they didn't really go back to buy yet, but I can get more wards now. More vision, safer lane.
Oh no, you don't upgrade the support items anymore, right? They just auto do it.
No, you can get boots.
Easy. Support brain.
You get
support
boots.
Players are too much to think about, apparently.
Hey, support is
the
fun.
easiest role in the game.
Support easiest role in the game. Ooh. I'm not sure I agree with that hot take right there.
What do you think the easiest top then?
All AD carry has to do is point and click.
Yeah, but AD carry is so micro-intensive.
Yeah, but like it's still just pointing and clicking as another dart. Like that was another max range binding, by the way, from Shard, who actually takes a lot of abuse for it right now. The double tap does a bit of damage back to this Rumble support, and despite that early first blood, early trades going in favor of QUT.
Yeah, I mean, in this ball lane, this Ash is going to be doing bits early on. It's a very strong pick. I don't see it pick as much. Usually, it needs something to help out the mobility. So Rumble is generally not paired with something like an Ash, but mid lane seems to be doing well into that Echo too.
Yeah, I mean, this mid-lane matchup is really the one I am most interested to see just because of how effective both Middle and Eden have been in this series after getting themselves early leads. I feel like whoever gets the early lead from that mid lane definitely can exploit it and take over the game. Advantage right now in favor of Middle because he did get that assist, I suppose, but until we see another crazy fight where one of these mid laners get a triple or quadra kill, I'm still holding my breath there.
You're wait for that. Mega takedown. Anything about this top lane matchup actually with the Vayne into this Ornn and see how that matchup actually goes up there, because that is very. Ornn is one of those champions who is super overpowered and there's not much you can do into it, but Vayne is one of these champions who does shut him down quite early, and if it can effectively get some damage up and kind of hurt its impact later into the game and get a big enough lead up on the top side, it could be quite effective strategy for UQ to do.
Hin Goodby currently stalking out that mid lane, not going to pull the trigger there just yet. And as we're seeing, rain coming down. No coconuts this time, so that's already a strike against Dian in terms of getting that MF pass, but that's A-okay. At the end of the day, it's the dub that's most important. Neither jungler really going for anything crazy though in this one.
Just relaxing, sitting out, getting some farm going, and I'm maybe expecting a J4 gank at some point, and go up to this top side to help the Ornn, but end of the day, just going to relax. Because Ornn can very easily solo kill this Vayne as well. If she missteps, get hit by too much CC with a Jarvan there, could almost 100-0. Very squishy health bar, and Ornn has so much base damage.
Yeah, exactly. Going back to your previous point, though, about the J4 and one Hin Goodby and not really finding a play yet, he needs to try and get something going for him sooner than later just because of how much faster Scott's clear is. You can already see that into effect as like Scott has a nearly 8 CS differential over this J4 with neither of them having backed yet. It's really on to Hin Goodby to sort of find a gank opportunity. He's looking at the mid lane right now. However, you know, it appeared as if Middle was able to suss it out and already start moving back in that defensive position. Scott's also got his eye there as well. And yeah, just no openings yet, unfortunately, for QUT.
Yeah, just both junglers walking around here. Scott did actually get to counter gank the Gromp, so J4 is going to be missing that, which is actually one of the strongest camps since the jungle changes came through.
So we're seeing some pings coming down right now. Actually, it looks like a very interesting ward.
Oh, Ash is moving
like,
up too. Ash
yeah,
is double.
very interesting roam in effect, but everyone's backing, so it's not really going to pay off for QUT. That was a risky call, and that's just a lot of free farm going over to Deanne.
I mean, they're not losing anything. They're under tower. It's kind of hard to pressure, especially against the Morgana. So fair enough. Look at them going out the map and doing something, and
Could get Dragon.
Yeah,
I mean, might as well. They are aware that, you know, people have recalled in mid lane. They have Prio still in bot lane as UQ has opted to freeze it, and it will be an early Dragon going to QUT, so making up for that first blood with a bit of a risky play.
Yeah, it's a very smart play there from QT, rotating out of that early pressure with the Ash Rumble push, forcing this MF lane under tower, and Cloud Dragon is a nice pickup. It means no Cloud Rip, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that ultimate CD would have been really handy for QT.
Look, just not a lot of things are in my favor tonight, okay? No Cloud Drake. My script was apparently wrong, so I'm going to have to send some angry emails about that. And I feel like we're going to get one of those very rare formal voice cracks before this night is over because I could just feel it coming. There's like an ominous cloud, and there's going to be squeaky formal soon. Ooh. Good knock-up right there coming from Nightfaller. Again, the follow-up damage not quite there, but you know who is. It's one angry Viking. Scott does force out the teleport from the mid lane. The Ornhorn has been called. It's not going to connect, but here is Syndra. A lot of damage being thrown back down onto this poor Vayne who cannot quite get out. However, UQ's fighting back. They get the stun. They have the damage. It's a double kill for Scott, and he wants the triple. That's Eden trying to run away, and he will get out of it at the end of the day, but a huge turnaround for UQ.
See, technically, QT won that, but the mid laner from QT got the kill. So, is 2 kills on the jungle better than 1 kill on the Syndra, given the fact that we see mid lane carry every game?
Yes, but it's 2 kills on Scott's Olaf, and that is something you have to be wary of.
That's true.
He has the engage button. It's called Ragnarok as another Dark Binding connects from 1 shard. This is definitely something that QUT needs to be careful of because, fortunately, they do have, you know, Cataclysm coming out of Hin Goodby, and that's something that can stop a Ragnarok. One of the few things that actually can, but with the way how this jungling is going, all right, cool, Cataclysm, Olaf's now stuck in there, but guess who else is going to be stuck in there? One Hin Goodby, and there's no way he survives more than 3 seconds against this angry Viking.
Unless he just ults and equals out.
True.
But yeah, it depends. I mean, hopefully Jarvan itemizes defensively, right? Looks like he's already going for the Cinder Hulk. Oh, nice double up there from the end. Getting some decent chunks there onto Akira. But
yeah.
Decent free. It's quite a slow early game, obviously. Get those kills early on, these players just want to chill out. I'm just going to see a fight explode in the top lane. You see the CS lead too for UQ up on the top side. Vayne is already on 65 CS, the Ornn's 37, instantly having to go for the full mail. That's not what you want to see if you're that Ornn up there on the top side.
It's not just the top side though, it's also the jungle. It's also in the bot lane. UQ, they're winning lanes. They're having the kills. They're getting that early pressure. The only thing they didn't get was that first dragon. So QUT, they're still playing smart, but after that fight in the top lane, this is very reminiscent to game number 1, except almost in reverse at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's that small advantage for the team with more snowballing champions. You're going to see if this team can actually, QUT can pull it back later in the game, stop the snowball, slow it down from UQ. They do have the Ornn, so it means the gold lead's not going to be as bad once he starts getting those Ornn items coming through, but already a 2k gold a massive for UQ is quite significant, and this Vayne's only going to get further and further ahead.
Yeah, I mean, especially for Clint. I feel like Clint has almost been like the weakness of the side. The Cataclysm is able to catch Shard. Yes, you have bullet time, but it's only going to do so much. Used defensively, it stops the engage. 2 flashes, though, getting for 1 ultimate.
And that means J4 should be looking to come back once his ultimate's back up again. So seem to go back, clear his Grump, walk straight to bot lane and go for another gank, and maybe pick up a kill on this.
Yeah, and that definitely could open things up, especially when you consider the lack of mobility from UQ's bot lane. I feel like one correct engage really would shut that down.
Yeah, I mean, and you've got Ash Arrow plus the Rumble Ultimate to chuck on top there, so now that they're level 6, that Cataclysm becomes a lot more useful.
I wonder if Akira is actually the Australian sniper with these enchanted crystal arrows. That's something we're going to find out as the spot lane progresses. However, jungle attention's up top as it looked as if Nightfaller may have been caught out. We've seen the axes coming from Scott doing a significant amount of work. Here comes Call of the Force God. It does knock up and chain CC onto Scott. He will fall down. Kill picked up for Eden as the rest of UQ runs for the hills.
And another kill
Arrow!
over to the Syndra.
It does not hit.
No, not the American sniper. Unlucky.
Not in American, it's
Great movie,
Australia.
by the way.
American Sniper. I've never seen it. There, you have one on me.
Wait, what? You have never seen that movie?
Yeah, no, sorry. I was born in 1991.
The movie came out in like early 2000s.
Yeah,
When
91.
did they come out? It was 2011, 2012.
They came out way later than the movie takes place in the early 2000s.
Okay.
All right,
There you
go. There you go. Meanwhile, that's another great Dark Binding from Shard on to Rusty, and it's another kill secured for UQ. The Ignite not going to get one back.
That was a very interesting equalizer there. Not sure what he was. Obviously trying to pick off the end, but with heal up. Yeah.
If there had been a Condemn right there, that would have just been the single funniest pin into a tower I've ever seen. Instead, however, QUT, they're going to get their second dragon of this game. It will be an Ocean Drake, so, you know, finding some solace in the face of disaster. And why not? Let's get an Infernal Dragon in our game number 3.
I mean, Infernal's probably not the best for QUT. They have the scaling. I mean, they have a lot more damage, right? They have the Rumble. They need to bring that extra bit of AP, but I think UQ wants this Infernal Dragon a lot more than QUT does.
You know what UQ does want? They want that Cole to finish on the Vayne. We're only 2 CS away, and I just love watching that one tick down to 0. Might have to wait a little bit, though, as it looks as if Clint is going to go ahead and try and freeze the wave, so it's going to be a bit slower. And
No?
Cole completed at 11 minutes and 16 seconds.
Yeah, I'll also be proud.
Not the world record time, but definitely something strong.
Very, very close to it. And that Carl valuable item once it's completed. Obviously getting that lead on the Vayne. Blade of the Ruin King once it's completed is going to be very good against this Ornn as well. See how they go. But I'm looking just towards this Syndra in the mid lane. Obviously 2 kills on the Syndra, got the shutdown as well. He's going to be quite powerful once he starts getting in. And Scott again with his farm up on 97 CS, consistently just power farming. Who said junglers can't keep up with laners?
Yeah, I mean, Scott right now having more farm than both a middle and Deanne, just with that Olaf power farming away. That's just going to be more and more horrifying. Finally, we see a Dark Binding fall a little bit short, and a good thing, too, because that could have been very dangerous for Rusty.
Yeah, with bullet time up, could be insta-dead if this Rumble gets caught out way too squishy. He doesn't have the normal tools of traditional support to get away. Obviously, he's waiting until that Leandra is completed before he's really too effective, so it's going to be quite weak in this lane, but ooh.
That's a nice stun right there coming out from Eden, and the follow-up damage is there. Cataclysm is not enough as the parallel convergence does make a bit of a save as well as the Chrono Shift. Meanwhile, here comes Scott. He's doing so much damage onto Eden and will secure that kill. Up above the flag and drop from QUT, though, may have caught a member out. No! Scott's too big! Bullet time comes raining through! That triple kill for Scott and a quadra kill for the side of UQ!
Once that Olaf gets low health, he's so bait. You just think you can take him down so easy, but he gets so much healing from that W when he's got absolutely no health. Great play there from Scott to stay alive. 5 kills on this Olaf. He's looking super strong.
Olaf is coming up huge as up top, the only member who wasn't involved in that fight for UQ is one Clint, and he's just continuing to pressure and punish this Ornn, liking this Vayne matchup, pulling further and further ahead. UQ, a 6K lead at 13 minutes. They might actually pull this one off.
I mean, they're looking very good ahead now. 6K gold lead this early into the game is very hard to come back from, especially before this 15-minute mark. I mean, they haven't played around the Rift Herald yet. I mean, I think... Where is... Who's the Rift Herald?
Rift Herald, I am not entirely certain at the moment, but I do know where the Ornhorn is, and it's connecting right now on to one Clint. Help is arriving from QUT to try and help Nightfaller secure the kill. Good tumble, and now actually Clint throwing some damage right on back. A good Vayne mechanics right there.
Yeah, I mean, the Vayne on top of that obviously has to be utilized effectively. Still hasn't gone back to. She must be sitting on a lot of gold with that cull ready to be completed as well. Ash down this bot side pushing onto this tower. And I mean, UQU are looking very, very strong, but QUT's comp is still one that's, you know, not over yet. I mean, I think this Rumble support, you know, 3 deaths already on the Rumble is pretty... not what you want to see when you kind of pick that champion support, but once you get to these team fight phase, you're going to see the real power of the pick, and even if they're down a lot of gold, you can still swing some of these fights.
Yeah, what scares me the most as well, if I were a fan of QUT, would be looking at Olaf and going like, okay, Olaf is fed, has 5 kills. All we have to do is stop him. Oh wait, we're designed to shut out one target, but that one target isn't supposed to have an ability that makes you immune to all forms of crowd control.
And you got a Morgana there too, so when the Ragnarok wears off, you've still got that.
Oh, the Black Shield as well. Like, it's just... Everything about UQ is designed to have one person get super, super fed and just roll over the top of QUT.
Yeah.
We've already seen it in one fight down below, and I don't know how QUT is going to stop that unless they can somehow find fights where Scott isn't there.
Yeah, I mean, and Scott too is just that. He was the player to watch, right? He came into a game. He played really well in the previous game as well. On that Lee Sin got some crucial kicks. See him again on this Olaf just popping off. Olaf is one of those champions.
Oh! Yeah, Black Shield actually going to go ahead, keep Shard alive, and Teleport's coming through. Big ultimates coming from this Morgana, but there's no backup. Flag and Drag does help Shard go golden. That bullet time's not going to connect, and poor Shard is left on his own. The kill will be secured by Nightfaller. Scott is waiting around, though, and might actually get caught out. Instead, though, QUT is distracted by the ward. Vision more important than chasing kills. I am not saying that unironically. And QUT, they might even get a dragon as well as it's spawning in 5 seconds.
I mean, that is a saving grace here for QUT. They are down in gold, but they're getting closer and closer to Infernal Rift. Looks like UQ are coming to shut it down, so maybe they won't grab it.
Oh, that's not where you want to be, Deanne. He'll fall down. Another kill given over to Nightfaller. And this Ornn, despite a slow start, is back in it. Big stun, meanwhile, coming from Eden. However, the follow-up damage isn't there. Don't want to get too aggressive until backup arrives. You have to be mindful of Scott. Dragon has been started by QUT, but on the opposite end of the map, that is Clint continuing to push.
Yeah, and he's also got the Rift Herald there up with him in the top side too, so he will drop that down and potentially secure another tower. It looks like QUT are rotating over, but maybe not going to be enough in time to pick up that third Drake. So they're now on soul point, so UQ have actually got to contest these dragons. The 20-minute Infernal Soul could be coming the way of QUT.
A 20, like, what would it would be 21 minutes and like 13 seconds?
Something like that.
Something like that. That would be an insane Infernal, and it's almost something I feel QUT needs in order to fight back in this one.
Yeah. I mean, they also have the Ornn items too coming through later. Has been dumpstered in lane by this Vayne, but that was kind of expected coming in out of Champion Select. Now we're into this mid-game phase. This Ornn is going to start coming online. And, you know, these team fights is where QUT's comp really shows its power. They were supposed to get slammed in lanes. You know, they didn't have the winning lane matchups, but they picked it for later. And we'll see how effectively they can utilize these slots.
Yeah, that is what we'll see at the moment as, again, action kind of slowing down for now as UQ, after that last push, they have decided to go back, refresh, spend some of that gold lead that they've accrued from themselves, now sitting at about 6K. Critical items I'm seeing completed. I like in the Black Cleaver as well as the Warrior Enchantment on this Olaf, so he's going to be shredding pretty much everyone. Not to mention the fact that, you know, even in the top lane, a QSS has been picked up by one Clint, so even if they try to shut down and jump on this Vayne, damage is going to be coming from there. Like, obviously, you buy the QSS against the Ashe Syndra comp, and I don't know, QUT, like, I can't emphasize enough how much they need that Infernal Drake.
Oh, they need that Infernal Soul so bad. If you, I mean, they are probably going to get it, right? You have to get 4 Drakes to get it, which is about 20 minutes, which I can't see happening, right? But, I mean, you could just end the game.
I feel like, I'm not going to say QUT is guaranteed to get it. I feel like UQ is guaranteed to not get it, as they've got a bit of a catch, however. Deanne goes down after pushing too far forward in the mid lane, and QUT, they're looking at some towers of their own.
Yeah, that was a fantastic pick there onto Deanne. D4 trolling once again there in the mid lane. Second death has been caught out, that's cost his team objective, so...
Oh, but here comes under parallel convergence. It doesn't hit with anyone. However, the Ragnarok might. He's not caught in the Cataclysm. However, he wants no part of the 1v5. Echo diving back deep, as that is another kill picked up by one a middle. Everyone disengaging for now. At the end of the day, it is 2 for 1.
Yeah, this Echo jumping into this backline so effectively, using that ult to get straight back out again. You see the power of this pick in the mid lane white counters the Syndra so heavily you can just ult that, well, counter ult the Syndra Unleashed power. and just get right back out. And Scott actually goes down to the Ornn too, picked up with that first bit of the Ornn horn, now picked up his 3 armor items with his veins. Not going to be doing as much to him with these team fights.
No red buff for you.
That's when you know you've had a tough time in lane, when you've got Sunfire Cape, Ninja Tab by Ends on themselves.
That was such a good steal right there from Eden, saying, nah, you don't get red buff. Sorry, it's still ours. Even though I'm a Syndra, I'm going to go ahead and take that one away.
It's
More
auto
important,
damage, man. It's the Syndra auto damage. It's huge with red buff.
it's also a case of Clint not having it. That's not something you want to give to a Vayne.
Oh god. Yeah, if Vayne got that, that'd be very scary for the one. Hopefully, and we got QSS on the Vayne too. That's an interesting early pickup.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I want to see a QSS on Diane as well. I mean, you kind of need it against a Syndra and against an Ashe, right? They have just so much single target CC that the minute you stop it, you win the team fight.
But I feel like you have Morgana, so you don't need QSS unless you don't trust your support, right?
There's 2 AD. He can only put Black Shield on one of the AD carries. You got to choose one.
Obviously, he's picked Dion, which wrong choice, but you know it's fine.
Wow. Wow. I'm going to tell Deanne you said that. I'm going to march right up on that stage after we're done and be like, oh, by the way, replays. He said that you don't deserve a Black Shield.
I mean, look, he's cost his team a dragon already in this game. A couple towers.
Hey, he is on pace right now to earn himself an MF pass. All right?
Really? He's giving him an MF pass for this game.
It's all about the dub.
It's all about the dub. That's all that matters. Not about the play. It's about that big W at the end. You see if UQU can chase that dub. 6k gold. Oh, 5k gold now been reduced a little bit. Where these teams maybe looking to force something around mid lane.
Yeah, a lot of poke being thrown down right now. Those axes doing so much work for Scott, just chunking away onto Rusty, who doesn't really want to stick around for too long. This is actually very critical for UQ because they've established mid and bot lane prio about 30 seconds away from this dragon spawning, and I don't think QUT is really in a position to contest, despite how important that soul would be. However, they still might. Ornhorn has been called. They thought they caught out Clint, but he's able to dodge it, and Clint's turning it around. The flash forward, the launch forward, he dodges the equalizer, is caught in the Jarvan ultimate, and in the end he will fall, but he goes 1-for-1 as the rest of UQU is here. Axes being thrown, not going to do much damage. Clint is a madman.
Does take down the jungler though, so it's almost worth 1-for-1, right? Means that they can't really contest this dragon with the... Oh, they've got smite on Ornn. Never mind, they still get it.
Yeah, they still might be able to. That said, it does look like a middle's trying to do what he can to zone out QUT. The dragon has been started, but UQ's in a bad spot. Bullet time comes out, and that's a case of Rusty just taking it because of the dark binding. Good combo, yet still the steal attempt is there. Nightfaller, it's too healthy on the backside. Watch the Syndra. They're not going to get it either because UQ pulls off the dragon. A triple kill for a middle, and that is going to be a dragon stolen. No, not quite. Taken by UQ.
That was so grief. I don't know what I just watched. It looked like Ron's phone. What was that?
It was nearly stolen.
Everyone just instantly died. The soul's not. You have 3 dragons. You don't need to commit that hard, QT. You were almost back in this game and you've just thrown it away. Given another lead to UQ. Delayed your own item power spikes. You were so close. You had to wait just a little bit longer, but that's all right. UQ and QT still contesting.
I think the one who had the right idea in that fight was actually Eden. He was able to take out Scott and open that opportunity for the steal. However, was just not in the cards. And I feel like there was some merit to QUT's plan. Yeah. They just pulled the trigger a little too early and kind of went full, you know, lemming line, going in one at a time, just getting picked off, pop, 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 pop. And they were doing so well in the sense of that, like, yeah, UQ have been winning a lot of these fights, but QUT, with that dragon pressure, they had been keeping things kind of close, but now they've lost that dragon pressure for another 5 minutes. They're behind nearly 10k gold at this stage. You have Baron on the map. UQ, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, and this Echo too is super strong. Lichbane completed on the Echo as well, so he's looking to get even stronger. 10 stacks, on this Dark Seal as well, so if he completes up to the Magi, he could be quite powerful. Echo's one of those champions. It is actually quite hard to die on as well. You got those 2 safety nets and of course your ultimate too.
Okay.
Huh?
The kick is good! 3 points going to QUT. A little gridiron reference right there as the crystal arrow goes straight through the uprights. Bit unfortunate for this blue side as that's a key engagement tool no longer available to them. As, again, UQ, they're just putting pressure on the bot lane. They have pressure around the Baron pit. That enchanted crystal arrow is so critical for this QUT side.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much their only major engagement. I mean, they got the Ornn too, right? It's a very heavy engagement.
Scatter the weak. as well. So
I wouldn't call it. It's more of a disengage.
Oh,
Here we go.
Cataclysm's
That's
going to
an
force the
engage
flash out of Deanne right now, and the Equalizer is still burned. So Rusty losing his main source of damage. I was concerned about this Rumble support, and I was asking you, like, what is the purpose of it? And it's just not coming out. Dark Binding, though, that does connect. Flag and Drag going to buy some time, but here comes the bullet time. Forces Goodby to go golden, and that's going to keep him alive for what, 3 seconds? Yeah, that's not enough to stop this ensuing UQ wave.
And there we go, that blue, that's how it goes down. And Baron should be the next thing UQ look towards. Vayne is still up 2 on this bot side, pushing.
Oh, this is an interesting fight right now as... No way, the Vayne might turn it around. There's help coming for Nightfaller, and they save the Ornn on the smallest of health bars. But as this is happening, that's a free Baron for the University of Queensland.
Safe free. Oh, yeah, they won't get there in time. That's one over to UQ.
Teleport. Oh, they're going for it. Teleports are coming down. QUT, they're racing to get there. You have no equalizer. You don't have much. You have an Ornhorn, but the Baron's secured. However, QUT wants vengeance. Rusty is online, gets a double kill. The third kill will be secured by Eden, and 3 kills for the cost of 1 Baron. Not sure if worth.
I mean, it is kind of alright, actually, because now you have, I mean, sure you only have Baron on 1 member and you're down in the power play overall, right, because Baron only gives you 300 gold for each player. However, having Baron on this Echo means you can still set up a really strong 1-3-1, right? The Vayne is still strong enough to clear out these waves fast enough and can contest anyone in these side waves, so she can have decent side wave pressure. You've still got MF push there with Morgana, so that's still able to keep that wave pressure while you've got the Baron wave in the side with the Echo. So the 1-3-1 that they're trying to set up is still, you know, able to be executed. Just a very hard, much harder without Baron on at least 2 of the members. But we'll have to see exactly what UQU can get done with this Echo, which still has this Nasher bar.
Speaking of this Echo,
Popping off.
Soul Stealer. I like that pickup. I like that pickup a lot, actually, coming from a middle. We did say, you know, the mid laner who pops off more is going to be the one who might win it for their team. So a middle with that Soul Stealer adopting that philosophy. Currently at 10, we will be tracking to see how high that might get.
Or how low.
True. Well, you sell it.
Magi's is pretty BM, to be honest. It's a pretty BM item. It's like you will not get the whole game.
I've been seeing it more and more, actually.
I mean, sorry, Magi's Rush is BM. I love doing Magi's Rush.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, this is BM. It's my favorite thing to do. Yeah. That is the replays we know.
I'm reformed. Honestly, on a level 2.
Ooh, good Dark Binding right there. Not going to lead to too much as the Scatter of the Week gets 2 on the stun backside. So, tit for tat, you suppress 1, will stun 2. It's just posturing right now around this Dragon Pit. Curious to see who will step forward first. Again, QUT, if they get this Dragon Soul, it could be their door back into this matchup. 9k down, though. It's really going to come down to a steal as UQ, they're looking to push into the gap. Here comes the bullet time. It forces a Golden Eden. Big call of the Forge God gets a knock-up on the backside because that is one Goodby doing what he can to disrupt UQ. 1-for-1 at the moment. The Flame Spitter burning UQ alive as that Vayne is on his own, but he's able to kite. He turns it around. Here comes the Potman. He kills the Ornn, and UQ gets a triple kill and wins the fight.
Yeah, this Vayne is so far ahead that even though QUT have the better team fight composition, the better tools to utilize, they're just getting chunked way too hard by Echo and Vayne, and they really just can't contest, and they have to wait until get more items, but there's just so much pressure coming down from QUT. Echo's got the Baron in the spot lane, 2 Dragons over to the side of UQ, and QUT are looking out of this match.
Now, we joked before saying, like, there's no way that UQ winds up with the Dragon Soul, but, we already know from Game 2 that UQ kind of likes to play it slow, right? So maybe they do slow play for the Dragon Soul with this lead. Now, granted, slow playing an 8k gold lead sounds a bit ridiculous, but if it fits their play style, if they continue to play conservatively, only pick the fights they know they can win, there is a world where this Dragon Soul actually does get taken by the red side.
I mean, I hope not. Because they should finish this game in about another 5 minutes or so, right? They're that far ahead. They have the stronger comp. They utilize a 1-3-3, a 1-3-1, and they should force QUT into making another bad fight and taking that, and then ultimately ending the game off this next Baron, which spawns in the next 2.5 minutes.
Look at that jungle gold difference right now.
Oh, yeah.
That is a very big Olaf.
I mean, same as mid diff too. Top diff.
And top. Yeah, it's just, you know,
the only one that's even is DN.
The solo lane's definitely going hugely in favor of UQ in this one. A lot of help from Scott in that instance. And yeah, it is scary seeing a Vayne have that much of a lead because at this stage, it is safe to say that Clint is online. Some of those mechanical plays have been quite fantastic. You got a bit of a phone call there. You'd like to explain what that
That was
was?
an alarm.
Oh, it was an alarm. Okay. I'm not sure that got picked up by the microphone.
Hopefully.
Oh, I hope it did. It's funny. I think that'd be a good little distraction. It's the alarm that QUT should be ringing right now because they might be losing this series.
Oh god. Yeah. I see UQ coming in, taking control. Baron's up in 1:30, and that's really their key window to end the game. I think this second Baron obviously stronger than the first one that was taken right on spawn, and this should be the calling card for UQ to come and take this series and take this.
Yeah, that could be the case because, I mean, QUT, they will probably have to step forward and force a fight against UQ, but UQ's team comp is almost designed to take that. There's so much peel on this UQ side as well that running straight at them seems disastrous, but how is this QUT going to stop this push? The wave clear from Ashe is okay, but it's not the best. I mean, I guess it is better than what UQ has. QUT does have the better wave clear, so maybe they can sit back and try and farm and be a bit patient, but yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they have the mental. I don't know if they can afford that time. Again, you have, a second Baron. You have an Infernal Dragon Soul potentially still on the table. It's so hard for QUT.
I mean, it's very difficult for them to come. This Vayne and Echo are just so strong that Echo's going to go in and nuke the Syndra before she can get any damage out. Ashe has to play so far back and can't really arrow anyone. You've got the Olaf there who's super strong as well, and it's just a very difficult situation for QUT to execute. They've got the comp that should traditionally win in teamfights, but they're just so far behind in gold, they're just unable to contest.
Yeah, it is exactly that. So until they find that isolated member, I don't think we should be seeing too much action out of QUT. Unless, of course, they commit for one of those crazy Hail Mary, Baron, or Dragon Steals, which could bring them back in. I think both a Baron and a Dragon is something this team could heavily utilize. Enchanted Crystal Arrow does connect onto a middle, but he's able to escape, at least for now. So much damage being thrown in the jungle. Up above, a big knockup onto Shard. Yes, bullet time's there, but it's not enough to make the save, and that could be the pick QUT is looking for.
I mean, that does take it down to a 5-4. They've expended a lot of big ultimates here, while the UQ still has, the Vayne ultimate available. MF, not MF, Morgana, but she's dead, so it doesn't really count. But these tools to contest are quite not there, but we have to see exactly what happens here. QUT, all 5 members strong towards this Baron.
Yeah, they're going for that Baron because they were tracking where Clint was, and Clint's going to back, so teleport is available for this Vayne. I do expect UQ to challenge, but they only have a limited window to do so. You can see the positioning. A middle has got himself behind that pit, or rather in front of it in this instance. It's actually jumping onto the Syndra right now, has to escape for now. Baron still being whittled away from QUT as another engage attempt perhaps could be coming from UQ. Keep your eyes on Scott. He still has Ragnarok. Now he pulls it. He runs in. He steals from Baron, and UQ starts to fight back. The rest of UQ continue to push forward, but now they need to retreat. Call of the Forge Guards on cooldown. QUT can't chase him down, and UQ gets away with murder.
And Chard spawned in time, so they've got Baron on all 5 members. That's huge from UQ, and they've also got Temper here, so they should be able to push down and grab a tower. That's game ending. QUT, they can't come back from that. They had such a good position, and they still mucked it up.
The timing of that Ragnarok on cooldown, the moment it was there, he goes in. Call of the Forge God, though, may have actually caught out a member. It was just off screen. It was Deanne.
Deanne, of course it was Deanne.
He gives a bit of a cheer back there. He knows he messed up right there. That's okay, though, because UQU, they're going right to that dragon. Now, does QUT have revenge in them? Not quite, because the dragon's already gone. So, soul point to each of these sides.
Deanne didn't die. They could have ended the game. Alex, come on, man.
You know what? Good to see the good spirits from UQ. Deanne dies. He stands up, gives a little cheer to the crowd. He knows what he did. And that's, again, bringing us back to what this is all about. Yes, it's a grudge match, kind of in name only, I should say. I was joking about fights in the parking lot after. That's obviously never going to happen. But there's still a significant amount of bragging rights on the line right here. It's all in good fun. Yay, happiness, fun, but man, it would mean a lot for UQ if they can actually pull this one off.
I mean, QT are actually surprisingly still even in the kill score, right? UQ aren't that far ahead. 17 to 19. This Ashe is 31-11. Quite a good KDA down there in the bottom side, but
I feel like whoever wins this game, the other school is not going to let them live it down, because if UQ wins, they're going to be saying, yeah, we were the underdogs, we weren't supposed to win this, but we still took this 2-1. If QUT wins, it's going to be, we came back from a near 10K deficit in, game number 3 to beat you guys. So, like, those bragging rights we were talking about before, they have now been exemplified, and then some.
Oh, definitely. That's the embarrassment, I suppose, for either school who loses. UQ throwing this lead, or QT, the OCS team, losing to a bunch of nobodies.
A bunch of nobodies. Wow. Wow. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to agree with that one because UQ are making names for themselves, and specifically an Enchanted Crystal Arrow going wide right there. Well, that's not the good name you want to make, but you can't call a team with a bunch of nobodies with Scott on that team as a big play coming from Clint. You forgot about the 6'5 Olaf. Okay.
He's just chilling there. He's doing his thing.
Well, he's got his Righteous Glory now, so I think he will make you remember his name before this one is done.
Hopefully we'll see what they do. Now, obviously, UQ just slowly pushing down these towers, using this Baron to the best advantage, taking that first inhibitor.
Oh, this could be a dangerous situation right there for a middle. He will back away, and he gets the inhibitor as well, so the throat is being tightened right now by UQU. They're doing their slow, methodical approach. They don't want to overextend. They just want to keep things nice and safe, although middle nearly gets caught out right there. You're keeping Deanne on a leash. Don't let him get caught. This Call of the Forge God might do just that, though. It comes barreling down the middle. It did hit Deanne, who has to flash away. Sorry, that was Shard who it hit. I thought it was MF. That's okay. They're red champions. Although Black Shield has been put on Scott, he's continuing to push forward. Ragnarok's still available if he wants to all in this. Tower might deter him away. Meanwhile, down below, a middle. He's trying to end the game. Stopped by the Cataclysm, however, does mean Rusty will escape, and now a middle has to escape himself. Has that redemption to try and help. A good parallel convergence gets the stun. Bullet time goes barreling through. That's doing so much damage. Somehow, Akira survives.
There's a second inhib going down to so much damage coming to this UQ team. They're just going to
They might end.
That's it.
They have the damage. They take the second Nexus Tower. This is the last fight for QUT. They need to find a way to that back line. They're not going to get it. UQ gets their geek on.
What a victory coming out from UQ, the underdogs defeating QUT in an emphatic 2-1. That was such a strong game two. Obviously, game three. Game two was a slow, grinding game, slowly trying to get their way through, but coming back now, UQ win the grudge match against QUT.
Yeah, and I have to say, my script was wrong. It hurts me. It hurts me that I've lost trust in my script writer, but yeah, UQ, a fantastic performance, and what impressed me the most about this team was, as I've mentioned during the cast, how methodical they were with their leads. They picked smart fights. They took their time. They didn't risk it all on some crazy Hail Mary and just throw away something that they had earned. And that's something I see a lot of teams make that mistake.
Yeah.
I thought UQ was going to make that mistake, especially when, they're almost considered weaker on paper. But no, they played smart, they played consistent, and they deserved this series.
And big shout out to UQ for winning with Dan on their team. Like, that's hard, bro. Most of Diamond and OCE can't do that.
Wow. You got it. I'll let you know, D4DN has a 40% win rate.
I'm pretty sure it's still 38%. He didn't play solo queue today.
That said, though, I still want to throw some credit to some members of the side on the QUT squad, in particular Eden.
Yeah.
Very consistent performances, specifically in games 1 and 3. This guy coming in as a sub, not necessarily going to be their mainstay roster. He stepped up huge and really was keeping them super competitive. Like, he almost won them the game 1 on their own with that huge Pantheon quadra kill 6 minutes in.
That was
game number 3 as well. It looked like he was in prime position to run away with it again. I thought his roams were fantastic, and I thought he was a critical part of QUT's success, so I definitely want to give him credit.
Yeah, I mean, game 1 MVP was 100% going to Eden there. Game 2, I mean, I think it was all the mid lanes tonight, right? Echo again in that third game from middle, and those last 2 games did very, very well. And UQ, well done on the victory.
Yeah, a big well done for them as well. And what a fantastic Get Your Geek On series for sure. We always come into these expecting a 2-0 stomp, and it never happens. This is twice in a row now. We've actually gone all 3 games as, oh, good. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, just get nice and comfy right here. And Replays, your day of reckoning has come with everything you had been saying about him. You are now sitting right here with one D4DN 80 carry extraordinaire from UQU.
And what win rate did I get?
I'm saying 40%.
40%?
66 today. 66
Oh, it's still 39.
Oh,
The
what?
sign's keeping it.
Damn, man. Like, I've been trying to get out of the 30s for a while, and it's been tough. But it's nice to get out of the 30s on stage.
Yeah.
So 40%.
We're proud of
40%,
you, we're
baby.
proud of you.
40%.
We're going on 50, boys. With the team, with the boys over there in the corner. That's him.
I mean, if Scott carries you every game, yeah, it's going to be pretty easy.
Yo, if I can just ride on Scott's back and he just has sore shoulders at the end of the day, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it.
Who wouldn't take it? It's all about the dubs. As he said, it's all about the dubs.
It's all about the dubs, and this was a big dub, obviously, for the University of Queensland. Tell me, what does that mean for both you and the team, and I suppose the university, to take this series?
It means quite a bit, but it's interesting how, because we obviously organized last year's team with external UQ students, and this year we went completely internal, trying to maybe get more, because we're a university, so we should have university students. So we wanted more along that lines, and we actually won, which maybe just means, university students have higher IQs than externals, and we can...
Ooh.
It's big calls, but maybe it's true. We won here today. Obviously, maybe it's definitive now, because obviously last year we lost with externals, so now UQ, definitely better uni. 100% without a doubt in my mind.
I still feel like the team, and okay, there are some externals out there, I'm not going to name names, who I still feel like would improve the team.
Yeah.
Who were on UQ.
Who have not... Farmer.
Sorry.
True. No, he was in isolation, so I had to sub in Farmer, who was the ADC for us, but unfortunately he was in Korea doing a boot camp and had to, stay at home, getting better, but...
Another question, though, I need to ask right now, though. In particular, Game 3. And
top lane?
Yeah, top lane.
Yeah,
Tell me, what is going through your mind every time you get caught out of position?
Can we end, Just can we end? I want to go top straight away. We get Baron, we're on top of the world, I've got the adrenaline in me, and I want to go, I want to take it all.
Yeah, I see.
And we took it all. But just not me, and the team did it instead, so that was kind of better.
Max, I have a question for you.
For me?
Has Mr. DN here won an MF pass?
No.
Ooh, that's fair. That's fair.
I understand.
Have you seen my win rate on MF? It's worse than 38%, that's for sure. Which is interesting because they banned it the first game, and I was like, "Whoa! I can't believe that took a ban."
Yeah. No MF passes were awarded
terrible.
today.
So what about Lucian? Obviously gets a hard no from you from the first game.
Games MF1. Yeah. Well, you got to change it to 1 now.
No, MF. I guess
true.
MF.
You did predict incorrectly.
I predicted everything incorrectly, man.
So, upon reflection, what do you think we did well at? And then I'll tell you.
I thought you did a great job in not overextending and blowing the leads you had accrued for yourself.
That's true. Because I think the big game plan with us was trying to find our win condition. And it wasn't in the bot lane. That
No.
100%
it definitely wasn't.
It just wasn't in the bot lane.
I think
you know
it
what?
was
I
in-
take that for my team, and I'll just sit back.
It was in that mid lane.
It was in the mid lane, and with the help of Scott in the jungle, and
Yes.
really trying to get that. And then we went in the third game. We need to shake it up. Let's put Luke on the Vayne, his signature Vayne, because he's an ADC player as well.
Yes.
Surprisingly, I'm the ADC when he's the better ADC player. It's
I mean,
Okay.
I've seen your top lane,
Actually,
right?
we're gonna
no,
play off.
yeah.
We're gonna play off this one right now, though, because we noticed that at the end of the day, it was a case of Clint going ahead buying the QSS, which meant you were going to be taking those black shields.
Yeah.
And my co-caster so proudly proclaimed, "Well, that's a mistake. The black shield should still go on the Vayne as well."
That's still true. I
suppose
to Chard.
the thing is the QSS is more reliable, right? If you're a true carry player,
Yeah.
you know your team is pretty average, so you don't rely on
Yeah.
it.
Well, as
and
soon
so
as-
you buy the QSS for
There
yourself.
was a time I got caught out in mid in during the middle of the game from an Ash arrow, and
Didn't the Morgana shield himself?
no, he just missed the shield completely.
missed the shield, yeah.
I got stunned and then he shielded. So then from that point I was like, maybe,
I should buy a QSS.
yeah.
All right. Well, one last question before we send you off to go celebrate with your team. And just any words of, congratulations, good game, anything you want to say to both your opponents for just coming to UQ, putting on this performance yet again. I'm hoping for something nice and no flame right here.
No. So first of all, I want to thank my team, because it's actually insane when you have a good team to get around and you can have fun.
Yes.
Like we were having fun the entire day. Obviously, even in the first game, and managing to bring that back. So having such a good team is really appreciated. And it's not on me. That's entirely on them, 100%. They're really kind of carrying me on that one.
You did okay, I think.
Well, yeah, well,
Can't pinpoint down a moment, but you did well.
and then QUT obviously, like coming to UQ, playing away, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
And especially like continuing to play with like vigor and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially like it's not often that we get to play each other, and it's really nice to like have hard fought games every game. And there wasn't a time that I was thinking we were going to win it. Well, apart from like just being arrogant, but like there was always like I had to put in 100%.
Yeah.
And it's a props to them as well and their esports program.
Yep, so a big props to them and a big props to everyone who helped put this event on. It's truly been a great day here at Get Your Geek On. I am Max Formal von Neumann, Mitch Replay Anderson, D4 Deanne. Hopefully he'll get to 45% win rate before the end of the season. And we look forward to seeing you all throughout the rest of the year. Have a good night, everybody.